Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Box Office Dynasty. We are your hosts. I'm Jack.
What? No, I'm kidding. And I'm
What?
Josh.
What'd you say?
That blew out my eardrums for a second.
Yeah, right as I started talking, my voice. You know how sometimes your voice just won't work. Like
Yeah.
every now and then you'll be like, you have to cough. Like that immediately happened once the episode.
You were just like,
started.
hello. I'm like, like, oh my god. All right.
Sorry for anyone's eardrums that have been burst. That have burst because
all
of
you
me.
headphone users.
Yeah. No, welcome back to another episode of our beautiful, glorious podcast. We have a great episode today. We are gonna review a Bible study movie. We watched Amores Perros. After we picked that random Bible study number, we are gonna do the box office numbers as usual. We have 2 reviews today. We're going besides that one that I just said, so 3. We're gonna review Send Help, the new Sam Raimi movie, and Fallout Season 2 that just concluded last week. And then we're going to play a little game, a little Olympic related game that you have planned that I have no idea what it is, but it should be fun.
It'll be straightforward, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. First, how you doing this week, Jack?
I'm doing good, man. I see you got your jersey on, your Cleveland Browns jersey. It's the day after the Super Bowl, so we're still reeling from that.
Should
But
be a
besides
national
that, I'm all
holiday,
right.
by the way.
I know the
after
fact that we
Super
had to
Bowl.
work today. Super Bowl should be on
Ridiculous.
Saturday. That's what I'm saying, man.
No,
Like, I know
it shouldn't. It should be Sunday, and then the day after should be because the thing about the reason why football is always on Sunday and big events are on Sundays like the Oscars and everything is because everyone's home on Sunday nights compared to Saturday. But
yeah, well, everyone would be home for the Super Bowl if it was on Saturday.
I guess, but I mean, it's fair that it's Sunday. It's always Sunday to Sunday and all that. I just think that the Monday after, especially next year's Super Bowl falls on Valentine's Day and the next day's President's Day. So the whole thing just needs to be shut down for work for like a couple days. So we can
Did we get off on President's Day? No.
Federal, like I think public jobs do. Like the banks, I don't know if they're open or not, but like we don't get off.
I would like that.
But it
no,
should
that shit
be. It
sucks.
should be. So we're gonna talk about the Super Bowl in a minute, but we have a couple of news nuggets to get through, Jack. I think you had one first. If you'd
Yeah,
like to
I have
go.
one that's like directed towards you, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, everyone
it's-
just take a break. Take 5. Jack and I have to talk.
Yeah, turn off the podcast. Come back in a couple minutes. No, I don't know if you saw it, but in an interview like 2 or 3 weeks ago, something like that, Ian McKellen kind of spoiled a little part of Doomsday. I'm assuming Doomsday. It might be Secret Wars, but I'm assuming Doomsday. Someone said, what have you been up to? You've been working a lot. Like, what's new? Or something like that. And then Ian McKellen goes, well, last week I destroyed New Jersey. And then everyone was like, what? So is that
he immediately was like, oh, I probably shouldn't have said that.
Immediately was like, I said something wrng, which makes us all believe it's a Marvel-related thing.
Of course it's Marvel. What it's Lord of the Rings. It's
hey, they go to New Jersey in the new Lord of the Rings movie. No, but that's kind of cool, right? Like Magneto's gonna be the super powerful force in Doomsday, and also he fucking destroys New Jersey. That's hilarious.
Yeah,
Not
Long
you,
Island
maybe.
will probably come with it too, but
no, we'll become we'll become the 50th state when New Jersey's gone.
Yeah, I did see that. I guess the news there is that he destroyed New Jersey. So I guess that's the news is Jersey is now off the map, guys.
I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I saw that. Poor Ian McKellen. Again, he's like, what, 90 years old, 80-something years old? Like
he can do whatever he wants to do.
He could tell us everything that happens in that movie for all I give a shit. I think it would almost be funnier to just hear Ian McKellen describe the events of Doomsday.
Just spoils the entire thing.
I think there'd be a level of entertainment to that. I do.
As someone from New Jersey, do you feel targeted?
I mean, the Avengers base is there, right? I mean, it already got fucked up in Endgame.
That's upstate New York.
No, that was Jersey. That Endgame battle. Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
All right, I'll look it up right now.
It's upstate New York. We'll wait.
Oh shit! Well, wherever I heard it was Jersey, someone fucking lied. Well,
it's upstate New York, and the what?
Where do they go to Jersey in that movie though?
Yeah, because Captain America's old army base is in Jersey.
Oh well, whatever. I don't give a shit. It's just fucking Avengers. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, No, but the X Mansion is in Westchester, New York. But I like how they're just destroying New Jersey for no other reason than it's New Jersey. And like,
Well, you don't know the reason.
I no, they Ian McKellen said I fucking hate New Jersey and I hate everyone from New
All right.
Jersey. And he said I'm going to destroy it. He asked the Russos if he could specifically destroy it for fun.
I still don't give a shit about this movie, but that's why I think Ian McKellen described
You
it.
care a little bit. I refuse to believe you don't care at all. It's gonna
I'm
be
not
so
excited.
fun.
I'm not
I'm
excited.
excited. It's gonna be a nice
I'm really not.
experience.
It's gonna be like fucking 5-year-olds smashing their toys together. That's what it's
That's
gonna be.
awesome. That's fucking
It's
sick, dude.
it's an amusement ride, is what it is.
All right, whatever,
Is my
man.
take. And I don't feel that way about all Marvel movies, but I don't see the genuine narrative here yet.
The
I
Russo
don't.
brothers all have always cooked. So until I see differently, always cooked in Marvel.
Yeah, that's their crutch, right? You
Yeah,
know,
they
because
know how to work a Marvel movie.
they don't know how to do anything else.
No,
Anyway,
they don't.
that's okay. So that did, I did see that. The thing I had was not as exciting as Magneto destroying New Jersey.
Mm.
They actually revealed Catherine O'Hara's cause of death. And I just
Oh
wanted to
shit.
put that out there for everybody, since we extensively talked about her in our last episode. They
Yeah.
revealed that the medical examiner said that the cause of death was a pulmonary embolism, with the underlying cause being rectal cancer. So she did have cancer, like we unfortunately suspected,
Mm-hmm.
when we first found out about this. And probably similar like Chadwick Boseman, actually,
That's
where
yeah.
she just didn't come public with it, for privacy related reasons. That's understandable. But I just because I think the audience deserves, that information. I wanted to get that out there. I just saw that like 20-30 minutes ago before we started recording.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I think we all kind of assumed just health wise she wasn't the healthiest at the end. So like, at least it's clarified now. But I hate when people like you could assume privately, but I hate when people are like, oh, there's definitely something wrong with her. There's you know what I mean? Like everyone with Chadwick Boseman being like, he looks so sick, he looks deathly ill. Like he knows he looks like that. We all know he looks like that, but like let him fucking be dying in peace.
Yeah, I agree. I think that there's a level of just respect and privacy to give. Like, I mean, a lot of people with Catherine O'Hara were like, oh, she seems so healthy, and it did seem sudden, and then you look back at some of the pictures from the last events with the studio that she was going to, and she did look a little frail, a little
Yeah.
withdrawn, but again, speculation does not help anybody.
Doesn't get anyone anywhere.
So, but that is the official cause from the medical examiner. Now we know. So I just thought the audience deserved to have that information passed along to them.
Yeah, fair enough.
So anyway, those are our news nuggets for this week. Big news, the big thing that happened this past Sunday, Super Bowl 60 took place at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California, between the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. And we'll recap the whole thing. We'll talk a bit about the game. We'll talk a bit about the halftime show. We'll talk about some of the commercials. Really dive into this. The Seahawks won by a score of 29-13. So, initial thoughts about the game, Jack. What did you think?
So boring.
Yeah, that was a pretty bad game.
I like you always want a high scoring game, right? You just want that action. You just want that, entertainment. But the whole time I was just like, how do they just can't fucking throw the ball. They can't catch it. I mean, the Patriots not making any movement. The Seahawks both have great defenses, but like both teams were constantly fucking dropping the ball.
Well, here's the thing. I don't even mind a defensive game, but it wasn't like the defense. I mean, they were playing lights out. The Seahawks defense, Uche Nwosu was fantastic for the Seahawks. Leonard Williams is always a dog on the line there. So I mean, they literally have a nickname, the Dark Side. You know what I mean? Like that is their nickname. They are just an historically impressive unit. And the Patriots defense, for what it's worth, is a top 5 defense as well. So and Christian Gonzalez for the Patriots had a hell of a game. I mean, he had JSN and Cooper Kupp locked down all night long. So it's not like they didn't do their jobs, but you're right. There wasn't really any turnovers. It wasn't like big plays, like interceptions. There was one fumble from Drake May of the Patriots,
Of course.
recovered by Seattle, but it was a lot of punt, commercial, come back 3-and-out punt, maybe get a field goal in there. For the first 2.5 quarters, there wasn't a lot going on. It wasn't even
No.
like the defense was making big plays. They were just doing their jobs. And Sam Darnold and Drake May just could not get anything going. For the Patriots, they couldn't get anything on the ground or the air. At least the Seahawks were able to get Kenneth Walker, motherfucking K9. He's a
Holy
dog.
shit, dude. He was killing it.
He won Super Bowl MVP. It's a bit contested. I think Jason Myers deserves more love in that conversation. The kicker.
Is he the kicker?
For
Oh,
the
yeah. I
Seahawks.
mean, he's dominated.
He set a Super Bowl record for 5 field goals made. He scored 17 points. He himself outscored the Seahawks in this game. He was the entire offense of the Super Bowl in the first half. There's never been a kicker who's won Super Bowl MVP. I knew the NFL wasn't gonna do that. And Kenneth Walker is fantastic when Zach Charbonnet is not, creeping over his shoulder stealing goal line work all season. So it was deserved, but because Myers was so much of their offense for a lot of the game, I thought he deserved more love. The fourth quarter got a little interesting, but
that's when it started to pick up.
At that point, the game had already kind of set itself as like just not one of the all-time classics. You're right. We all do prefer high-scoring affairs. I didn't expect that with these defenses. That turned out to be true. But man, this was a bit of a slogfest.
Dude, I would have won $3,000 if Drake May rushed a touchdown. Literally that was it. I did a parlay. I put $20 on a parlay. All my stuff hit. I did like the over for rushing yards by Kenneth Walker. I did Mac Hollins gets 3+ receptions. I had someone else got like 4+ receptions. All of it hit, and I needed Drake May to just rush for a touchdown. And the whole game, I'm hoping for it. But it was just so brutal watching that game.
Yeah, I mean, I had some money on some boxes. I don't ever do anything too crazy. I'm pretty against, the sports betting and the market predictions and call sheet. Like Giannis recently became has an ownership stake in Call She. That to me feels like a big conflict of interest for sure, because he can impact the outcome of games, and now he has an ownership stake on the market that sets the betting lines. We are entering this age of sports betting and gambling where it's become too promoted by the leagues, in my opinion, and it really is impacting the experience as an actual just fan. I think that and I'm all for having a little bets here and there and having fun, but I personally like, I stay out. I'm not a big gambler.
Well, speaking of, between the game, there was nonstop commercials. Of course, it's the Super Bowl. Everyone expects good commercials. But these, first of all, barely any movie trailers. Don't know what the fuck that was about. Then the commercials were all either sports betting, AI, or like fucking Uber Eats.
Or cryptocurrency.
Like what? They were like, everyone's just going to be a robot or bet all their money away. Like, it was so bad.
Yeah, there was like that Dunkin' commercial, which was terrible because of the AI enhancements of like the 90s sitcom characters.
Yeah, I liked seeing them all together, but it would have just been fine if they're all older.
I thought it was disgraceful. I think, yeah, seeing them together is fun, but it was so hollow. It felt so empty.
And that wasn't the only one.
Like it. I did not
like
the
Jurassic Park one also.
Yeah.
First of all, Sam Neill's eye was like on his cheek at one point. And that the AI, CGI, whatever, was so fucked up in that one.
And then we're so far from the puppy monkey baby days, like those.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember the year that they killed off Mr. Peanut?
That's probably like 2014 or something.
Like 2014, 2015, something like that. Yeah. Like those.
He fell off a cliff.
Yeah. like all like you said, all the commercials now are just like celebrity cameos or nostalgia baiting or like AI slop, and it's all just for, like you said, cryptocurrency, car ads, pharmaceutical, or like, the
Yeah.
fucking Matthew McConaughey Uber Eats commercial where it's just like, remember when he used to do movies.
I mean,
So
that was a lot of it, was all these people. I mean, there's like a random Taika Waititi commercial,
what was
random,
Elle Fanning doing in that commercial? She was just sitting there eating. She was there for like two
yeah.
seconds.
I
It,
miss the
it
days where it was full of movie trailers and things. What did we get? We got
well,
Adventures of Cliff Booth. What?
I was going to come back to that because I
Oh,
wanted
okay.
I wanted to talk. I mean, you're right. They don't want to pay for it anymore. But I wanted to. No, you know what? All right, you bring it up. We'll get into it. We'll finish off with Bad Bunny. I want to talk a bit about that as
Yeah, yeah,
well.
yeah.
But you're right. So I did keep a list of all the trailers that we got. It was
Yeah, I don't.
Hoppers,
Yeah, which was fine.
Scream 7,
Yeah,
Disclosure Day.
which was the same trailer we've pretty much already
No, we
seen.
got some new footage in it. We did
Uh,
get some new footage in it. Mandalorian and Grogu, which wasn't even a trailer. That movie might be
no,
one of the worst fucking movies of all time. I'm not
that looked
excited for it at all.
terrible.
The whole thing looks terrible. I mean, I'm sorry. The whole marketing campaign for this movie is the worst thing I think I've ever seen. Who was that trailer made for?
I don't know.
It
I
was like a
thought
car commercial.
I was gonna say I thought it was a commercial, and then it was like Mandalorian Grogu. I was like, wait, what?
Who was that made for? I'm
I don't
sorry.
know.
I love Star Wars, and I used to love, like, season 1 of Mandalorian was fantastic, and it breaks my heart to see what that has turned into because it's slop now, and I think that movie is just going to be bullshit. I'll see it.
Maybe, I don't
It
know.
looks terrible. It doesn't look like it's well filmed. It looks like every shot in the movie also looks like a car commercial, so it fits seamlessly.
See, I don't
And
agree with that. I liked the original trailer, but this new one, I was like, oh, what the
the
hell?
new trailer didn't even look that good either, in my opinion.
No, the new trailer looked terrible.
I meant the first trailer didn't look that
Oh,
good
I liked the
either.
first one.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a good movie.
All right.
It looks like it's going to be a giant side quest, is what it looks like.
Yeah, I mean,
I
yeah,
just
it shouldn't exist, but yeah.
so I just don't think it's going to be that good. Then you're right. We got The Adventures of Cliff Booth. That's the only trailer here that I wasn't expecting. Like all these others we were reported to get. That was probably the coolest thing, was seeing
That
that.
was pretty sweet. I thought it was a
It
beer commercial at first.
Yeah, I was confused, and then I quickly was like, oh shit, this is Cliff Booth. Like,
Yeah, I saw him in the yellow shirt, and I was like, oh shit, here we go.
so that was cool. They didn't even put a title on it at the end, but we still all knew what it
No.
was.
Yeah.
Then we got the new Minions trailer, sort of Minions and Monsters. Who gives
Yeah,
a shit?
whatever.
Super Mario Galaxy, and
Not even a
then
trailer.
not even a trailer again, just another one that's like tied to a commercial. And then we got Project Hail Mary, where they teased that the new full final trailer. That's the only movie here that actually looks really good. Like that movie
Yeah, well,
looks
Cliff
like
Booth
it's
looks
going to
great.
be. Yeah, it's hard to tell with Cliff Booth. You're right. Initial look at Cliff Booth, I agree. It looks pretty interesting. Project Hail Mary looks like it can be one of the best of the year already.
Yeah, and we got some really good new footage in this trailer. Like it wasn't just recreate, the same shit. It was actually some cool new shots.
I agree, and I mean the cinematography of that looks fantastic. I'm looking up. I forget who they hired to do the photography for it. I believe, yeah, Greg Fraser. I mean, Greg Fraser is one of the best. He's done the Dune films. He's done the Batman. So like it looks like it's going to be like it actually doesn't look like when you look at a lot of blockbusters today, they just they're not well lit. There's no like nuance to their lighting. They all look very bright and backlit and just like commercials. They don't look like, if you look at a movie from 20 years ago and you look at the way most movies are lit today, it's night and day. And Project Hail Mary, like most of Greg Fraser's work, is a throwback to what true lighting in a film and photography in a film should look like, and I'm so excited for it.
I saw people comparing the lighting of The Devil Wears Prada and The Devil Wears Prada 2, and it's like night and day. Like there's no life in the second trailer.
Yeah.
In the second movie trailer compared to what the first one looked like.
But that's my problem with Mandalorian and Grogu too. It looks like shit. Like
It's
just
very gray.
it visually looks like fucking shit, right? Like it just, it's Star Wars has some of the most iconic imagery of all time, They should be embarrassed to put out a movie that looks like that. And again, we haven't seen the actual movie yet, but from everything they're showing us, and it comes out in a couple months, it doesn't look that good.
I don't understand why they would do that with Star Wars. Like, you remember what Captain America: Civil War looks like? Like, that is like, there's like a gray, washed out palette over everybody and over every scene. And it's
Yeah.
like, why are you taking Star Wars or superhero movies or things that are meant to be colorful and just making them like literally gray? Like, it's like dull all the colors. So I'm glad that Project Hail Mary is a very vibrant looking movie as
Yeah,
far
and
as we can tell.
as someone who's read the book too, I think that's really necessary, to get the life of that story from the page to the screen.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Even for all of its flaws, The Last Jedi is one of the most beautiful films that Star Wars has made from a
Yeah, it
visual
looks great.
standpoint.
It's probably the best looking film in all of Star Wars.
Probably. And then you got slop, absolute slop. So, I mean, we didn't get Doomsday. We didn't get a Brand New Day, Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer. It's interesting. Do you know how much it costs this past year for 30 seconds of screen time?
Oh man, I want to be like $100 million or some
Oh,
shit.
no. Okay. That's
50 million.
No, it was 10 million.
Oh, well, honestly, then that's not bad.
That's bad. For 30 seconds?
For
That's
companies
a
that
lot.
have like hundreds of billions of dollars or whatever the fuck
But
they
look
have.
at it. Look at Marvel's perspective. What's the point in spending all that on a Doomsday teaser for 30 seconds when they just did 4 of them in front of a movie that made $1.5 billion?
Well, it's more
That's
so Brand
plenty
New
of
Day
exposure.
because that movie comes out 6 months before Doomsday and we don't have anything yet.
Yeah, that I'm a little surprised that they haven't done anything. I mean, with Avengers, this is the first Super Bowl that with an Avengers movie coming out that didn't get a spotlight. But I
To be
understand
fair,
why they didn't.
When the full trailer comes out for Doomsday or Brand New Day, that will be like the highest watched YouTube video or highest watched trailer of any movie like ever. So I guess it doesn't really matter if they do it or not.
Probably, yes. Well, certainly for Doomsday. I don't know that I'll say the Brand New Day trailer. I don't think that's going to be the highest one ever. Doomsday.
I think No Way Home like crossed over the Endgame trailer
but that had all the
Infinity War one.
If it did though, that had all the Toby and Andrew kind of speculation that this one doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
I would agree with. I would agree. They weren't in it, but there was speculation.
Yeah,
and I would agree though about Doomsday. I do think that once that comes out, it's going to do real numbers. But there was just no need for them to spend that kind of money at the Super Bowl.
No.
They're not the only studio that sat out either. Like Sony sat out. Netflix was going to sit out, and then they threw Cliff Booth, I guess. But
I didn't even know that was a Netflix movie. I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah, so between the massive demand and the ad bundles that tie into the Olympics this year, it spiked the prices even more. And studios said it wasn't worth it. It's just not worth it, So that's why we didn't really get much. But I'm surprised that Disney spent all that money on that shitty fucking Mandalorian and Grogu commercial. And
Hoppers, which was like pretty much the same trailer we've seen.
Yeah,
like.
but that was for exposure for a movie that they need to get exposure for an original Pixar.
Yeah.
At least that was a trailer. You know what I mean? Like at least they showed us
fucking riding tauntauns that were they looked so bad.
So I was gonna ask you, of those movies that we got trailers for, what are you most excited for?
Project Hail Mary for sure.
Yeah. Me too.
But Cliff Booth is right there.
Yeah, we just haven't seen enough of it yet.
Yeah.
And Project Hail Mary, we've seen a good amount, and I think it just
really
looks,
hyped for that one.
That's also original. That's like, I mean, it's an adaptation, but it's not like Cliff Booth is a sequel to a film.
Yeah.
Project Hail Mary is a new thing we're getting.
It's completely new to at least me.
Yeah. So it looks fantastic. But I agree. The Super Bowl, the game, the commercials, the ads, the trailers, everything, it was pretty disappointing. There was one thing that I thought was not disappointing, and that was the halftime show. Bad Bunny was the headliner for the halftime show this year, which has been a very, to say the least, divisive decision. From a political standpoint, it really shouldn't be, but it was. And I thought he absolutely nailed it. I thought it was, I mean, I wouldn't say it's like my favorite all time. Obviously, I don't even understand what he's singing, but the vibes were immaculate. The set pieces were awesome.
I thought Kid Rock was the halftime show. That's the one I watched.
Yeah, man. Look, I know it was no Kid Rock being out of sync with the music. I don't know if you saw that
No,
fucking
I didn't
that
see
looked.
that.
I saw a clip of it, and he's like, "My name is Kid," and then he's like fucking
Oh,
singing. And it's completely out of fucking like tune and out.
of
He's like
course it is.
he's lip singing, and he pulls the mic away, and you still hear Kid Rock.
I can't believe there was an alternate halftime show that people actually watched.
Yeah, that was fucking stupid. Get this, the Bad Bunny halftime show was the most watched halftime show of all time.
That's sick.
135.4 million viewers tuned in for Bad Bunny's halftime show. And it was great. I mean, it was fun. Like I said, I think the message of unity was really impactful. And like I said, the music was great. He brought out Lady Gaga. He brought out Ricky
Yeah.
Martin.
The
They were
production
awesome.
was insane.
Yeah, like the production, the set pieces, the
Yeah.
way the camera moved, the choreography.
I
It was a
I
great
will
show.
say I liked the production. I liked the message. It was kind of cool seeing celebrities in the crowd like dancing with him that were just never like zoomed in on. Like Pedro Pascal was just dancing
Yeah,
there.
Pedro Pascal,
Jessica Alba,
Cardi B, Carol
B.
G, fucking from the world of baseball, Ronald Acuna Jr.
Oh, yeah,
was
yeah.
back there. Jazz Chisholm of the Yankees was there.
Oh, I
I
didn't even
think.
see him.
Like I saw him in a picture afterwards, and I
Oh.
saw a picture of Acuna, and next to him was Jazz and his fiance, and I was like, wait a
For
second,
some reason, Alex Earl was there, but she's like white as hell. So like, I don't know if she's maybe a Latina
Tom Brady
or something.
probably got her.
But what I'm saying is, I liked all that, but I just don't. I don't. This is the first time I've ever heard Bad Bunny sing. I've never listened to his music before ever. I don't know if I like it. I'll be honest. I like everything
What do
was
you
great
mean?
about it, but I was like, I don't like this song. So I was talking to people, and they said he has better songs that for some reason he just didn't sing. I don't know if how you feel about his other songs or the ones he chose for this one. I
mean,
thought one of them was really good, but I thought the other ones were like kind of mid. You know?
I don't know. I mean, I don't extensively know his music.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, his most popular song, DTMF, I think is a great song. But he only did like 2 seconds of it at the end.
I think that might be the one I really liked because I liked one towards the end that was really good.
I like Nueva Yol, which was like a song that's about the immigrant American experience in New York City, and that was really, it pairs well with the message that he was making this show about.
Well, yeah, I don't know what any of the songs were about, but I was just going based on like if I enjoyed the song or not.
I enjoyed the songs. I think that they were good music. Look, you and I are not the target audience for this music. We are white dudes. We're not the target audience for this music. So that, I think, has to be, bear in mind as well. And again, he's not my favorite artist in the world. I don't really extensively listen to his music. He might have not been my top choice, but he killed it. And I think the music was pretty good. And I think the show around it was. I loved the fact that there was a real wedding on the field.
Yeah, who are they though?
That was real. That they actually got married then.
No, but who are they?
They're just random people who had invited Bad Bunny to their wedding, and in turn, he decided to invite them to do the wedding on the field during the show.
I think everything about this makes it a great halftime show. I just personally didn't love the songs, but that's me. That's nothing against Bad Bunny or anything. Did you see that the little kid who was like dancing or whatever he did in the halftime show there was like a little boy dancing or something, and that was the kid that got like picked up by ICE.
Now this time I have to debunk you, like you debunked me. That wasn't that kid.
That's what someone told me.
I know that's what was going online, but that's not true. It was an actor.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Then who the fuck was that kid?
That's the kid. That was the kid when he gave the Grammy, in the moment when he takes his Grammy that he won last week.
Yeah.
And he handed. Remember, that's what that moment was. That was an actor that was hired. It was supposed to be like portraying like young Bad Bunny in like the future, like he's passing it off to the future. So that was not the kid. Liam Ramos, I think is his name, that ICE detained wrongfully. Back
Damn, so someone
month.
just made that shit up and was just posting online.
Yeah, it was just another rumor that spread around.
There you go.
So I originally thought that too. They look alike. I saw pictures of both of them.
Whoa.
No, I don't mean they. He looks like the kid. I can understand where
they
the
don't all
confusion.
look alike, bro.
Jack,
Chill.
you're always you're making my digital footprint bad by twisting my words. All right,
Oh no.
the two kids look alike, but
Yeah, this is the same
so I
haircut or
can see
something.
where the confusion can come from.
Oh,
But
okay. So that's on me then. That's wrong. So don't believe anything I say ever.
so we had to debunk each other already
Yeah,
today.
yeah. Already, this is a great start.
But I thought it was a great halftime show. I thought it was by and far the best part of the whole night.
I
And
mean, yeah, when the game is that shitty, honestly, most like it was a great halftime show plus a shitty game makes it the best part of the night. Yeah, absolutely.
what is your favorite halftime show of all time?
Uh, that's a really good question. I don't even know if I watched it live, but I've seen on YouTube Prince, and that's like probably like objectively in quotations, but like objectively the best, at least the best made halftime show.
Yeah, well, more like widely considered is the
Yeah,
way
yeah, yeah.
I would
I
put
really
it.
like Bruno Mars. You know, I don't
When
even remember
he
which
when he headlined or when he joined Coldplay.
when he headlined. I think.
That was the one that was the Super Bowl at MetLife.
Oh, that was like 2014. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
that. Yeah. Which one's yours?
Probably Prince. I mean, Purple Rain in the Rain
So
doesn't get
sick.
better than that. The Michael Jackson halftime show also
Oh yeah, yeah.
is incredible. And the one a few years ago in LA with Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Mary J. Blige, Kendrick Lamar,
Yeah.
and Eminem, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was cool.
I remember that one being really, really awesome. So those are probably my favorites. But this one was really awesome too. So props to Bad Bunny. I mean, we're talking about Kenneth Walker or Jason Myers, who should win MVP. Low key, Bad Bunny's Super Bowl MVP this year.
I'd
That
like to
was
see Kenneth Walker
he
do
got
that.
more rushing yards than the Patriots did the entire game.
That's true. He was
When
moving on that field.
when he was moving with the ball on that field,
Yeah.
he got more rushing yards than the whole Patriots
God
offense
damn.
did.
God damn.
So yeah, that was cool. All in all, it was a pretty forgettable Super Bowl with a great show. Because like I remember that was probably the worst Super Bowl since the one between the Patriots and Rams that ended 13-3. And Adam Levine did the halftime show that year, and that was a bad halftime show and a bad game. So the whole
Yeah, that's the
experience
worst
was a
night.
nightmare. I think we were like freshmen in college that year.
Really?
Yeah, I remember watching that one with you. But at least this had a great show. And the game wasn't in the second half it wasn't as bad as that one. In the first half it was arguably worse. But hey, how do you feel as a Jets fan, Sam Darnold winning a Super Bowl? I wanted to ask you that.
This is as close to the Super Bowl that the Jets will win. The Jets will get to. So I had to root for the Seahawks by that association.
Well, you can't root for the Patriots anyway, right?
No,
I mean,
no. But like
the hate
because
watch is real.
Sam Darnold specifically, we were like, yeah, this is we are with the Seahawks today.
Yeah,
That was us.
no, that was what a story of resilience for him. I think that's such a cool
can't do that shit for the Jets,
story.
dude.
Nah, his story of resilience is he had to overcome being a Jet. Like that was his whole thing.
That's everyone's trial by fire.
Yeah. So, but no, great for Sam Darnold. Truly, it's a great story. And the last thing I thought was an interesting note about the Super Bowl, Jack. Way back when we talked about the new Pope on this show, and we talked about conclave and everything.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Did you know that for the last 3 popes, the last 3 years that a new pope was elected, the Seahawks have made it to the Super Bowl each time, winning 2 of them. In 2005, Pope Benedict was elected, and the Seahawks made it to Super Bowl 40. They ultimately did not win. But then in 2013, Pope Francis was elected. The Seahawks win Super Bowl 48 with Russell Wilson. And then this past year, Pope Leo was elected, and the Seahawks make it and win Super Bowl 60. So the blessings of the Pope are great for Seattle. There's
some divine intervention, dude. I mean, something's going on for the Seahawks.
I mean, these are the kind of little like facts that you just see and you're like, how? Like you can't even make that up.
And also like why? Like why the fuck
how
are
does
they
that
always
work
in the
out?
Super Bowl with the that's crazy.
With the new Pope? So I thought you'd find that interesting.
The Pope needs to go to the game.
Well, this Pope, the American Pope, I mean, he is a Bears fan, so
Yeah, so
like,
what? He could still show up,
you know.
say his blessings.
Can you imagine? Well, that was like way back at the final game of the season when the Steelers and the Ravens played each other to get into the playoffs to win the division. Before the game, there was a priest literally blessing the field in Pittsburgh. And then that game ended on a missed field goal by Ravens kicker Tyler Loop. And it was in the same end zone that was blessed by the priest before the game.
You think about it, like, if the Pope or, like, priests or anything are rooting against you, does that mean you're playing against God? Like, the whole
I
Catholic
mean,
Church, like, if the Pope is a Bears fan and the Bears go to the Super Bowl and they're playing whoever, like, the Pope and the Catholic Church and, like, the God wants you to lose, right? Like,
I'll say this much. The Seahawks had God on their side. The
yeah,
Patriots are owned by Robert Kraft, who is friends with Donald Trump, and also were a public endorsement of support by Benjamin Netanyahu for the Patriots to win the Super Bowl. And that's about as evil of a person as it gets.
that's
So I'm gonna
crazy.
have to go out on a limb and say it was God and woke versus uh evil
Israel?
and Israel, I guess. Yeah, so I mean, anyway, Israel bought the Patriots, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, something like
But
that.
but yeah, so I guess you're right. I guess by that logic, I can't argue with you.
Wow. All right, any other notes on the Super Bowl?
No, that's it. So that was Super Bowl 60. Congrats to the Seattle Seahawks on winning their second Super Bowl in franchise history. And congrats on Jack for not making his money back.
Yeah, shit's sad. Whatever.
Well, why don't we move on?
Yeah, is it Bible study time?
Honestly, speaking of the Pope and
I think
God,
we're getting a little religious real quick.
we're getting religious, and we are going to talk about the Bible study film.
Yeah, we watched Amoris. No, what is it called? Amoris Peros. Is that it?
Which
Yeah.
translates to, I think, "loves a bitch." I think was
loves
the
a bitch.
translation.
We pulled. So how it works is we ask you guys to comment a random number, and that number correlates to a movie that's in the New York Times 1,000 essential movies to see. We have a book, we call it the Film Bible because it's got thousands of movies in there. And you comment a number, we pick the number randomly, and we watch that movie and review it. This week we got Amoris Peros. So we'll just, it came out in 2000, I think.
Yes, Amoris Peros came out in 2000, directed by Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu, who is more widely known for films like Birdman and The Revenant. And it stars Emilio Echevarria and Gael Garcia Bernal, who you know from Night. What is it? Werewolf by Night.
Yeah.
So we're gonna give our ratings. We're gonna give our reviews. Spoilers, I assume. In our reviews, it's a 26-year-old film.
And after we review this, nobody's watching this movie. So
we might be in the unpopular on our takes. You and
Yeah,
I are closer in an agreement. We
Yeah.
are, but we seem to be the unpopular take here.
I'll let you go first.
No, I okay. You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. I give Amoris Peros five. I'll just stay right on 5 brotherly conflicts out of 10, because a lot of the subsections there was like brotherly things going on.
100%.
So I'm gonna give it 5 brotherly conflicts out of 10.
I'd give it 1 dog fight out of 10. Fuck this movie, dude.
That's all you need. I want it. I'm gonna understand everything you say, because I don't necessarily disagree with you on a lot of what you're gonna say. So I want you to go first, because then I'll give you my reason for why I'm not where you are necessarily.
I mean, I totally get why you have it, because it's an interesting story, but I cannot look past the amount of unnecessary animal abuse and violence that's in this film. I mean, the amount of dog fights and blood. I mean, the movie starts off with a dog dying after it got shot in the back of a car. And then it goes to dog fights, and then you see the dog get shot, and like all this crazy shit with all these dogs. Dogs get like stuck and lost, and they're dying, and they're fighting, and they're ripping each other's heads off, and like it's too much. You can display that without showing it. You could talk about it. You can cut to black when the dogs run at each other. You don't have to see them ripping each other's necks out. Like, it was too much for me. I actually, and I don't do this for movies ever, I had to skip multiple scenes in this movie because I genuinely cannot watch that shit when it's that detailed and that much.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had to skip through it. I couldn't. I just was not in the mood to watch that. So I was like, fuck that. I owe this movie nothing. I'm skipping the scene because fuck this movie. So I'm at 1 star.
You owe
it was too much
you
for
owe
me.
the commenter. You owe whoever commented the
You know,
number.
it's funny. That was my friend actually.
Really?
Yeah, shout out Stephanie. She commented. I think it was 57 or
Yeah,
58.
she's never gonna want to comment again because we
I
fucking
know.
hated the movie.
Worst
But
fucking movie
no,
I've ever
please
seen, dude.
please comment more numbers, Stephanie and everyone else. Look, I get it, man. I'm with you. I'm with you most of the way there. I mean, there is a lot of explicit animal abuse in this film that becomes rather quickly incredibly unnecessary. I have always drawn the line there, with the exception that, look, it it's not that, like, it's difficult to talk about because it's there's two sides to this. I understand showcasing, brutal imagery for narrative purpose. Like, I saw a documentary last year called No Other Land, which is basically this documentary that won the best Oscar, best documentary Oscar last year. And
Mm-hmm.
it's a film about the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. And you see some really horrific imagery. I mean, you do. It doesn't hold back its punches, and it's hard to watch, right? It's not enjoyable. It's not supposed to be entertaining. It's meant to be educational, right? And in that regard, it matters. It's important. It's incredible work. Here with Amores Perros, I get what Iñárritu was trying to do and what most people seem to think was successful. So you and I mean, this is a highly rated film,
Yeah, people like it.
and so I respect people's opinion there. I'm not sitting here saying, how could you? I get what they were doing. So this is a non-linear story, right? We get kind of it's that's why people call it like the Mexican Pulp Fiction, because it's told through chapters where we are
Yeah,
showcasing like different characters in the narrative
and they all unexpectedly connect in
in
ways.
different ways. And that's part, I did like that. I did like these like kind of like
Yes, I gave it,
nuances there.
1 out of 10, but I do like the way the story is portrayed, but I just can't obviously I just can't get past the animal stuff.
I understand, because what he's doing is trying to showcase this analogy of animalistic brutality between people and animals, and for what it's worth, the film is pretty successful in that endeavor. In terms of, like, you have our characters you talk about where they suffer, they struggle in abusive relationships and financial strain, and kind of you have your third act where the character like loses his life because he's trying to fight for a better world. Just like really difficult circumstances that our human characters face, and the animalistic worlds that they kind of are forced to navigate. And in that kind of metaphorical lens, it worked. The message got across.
Yeah,
Again, I agree. It's too often that we saw it. I think it would have been a big different story if you had one shot of a dog like that where it just sits with you and it's not overbearing. It doesn't take over the whole story. It's not like, you and I seem to have walked out of this with the same imagery in our heads that we just can't get past to really enjoy the movie. If they scaled it back to just very like meaningful moments, not so overwhelming throughout the runtime, I think we would be sitting here with maybe a little bit different ratings right
uh-huh.
now.
Uh-huh.
But it is very in your face all the time, and it is very hard to deal with. I mean, I work with animals. We both love animals. I literally work with animals. It is it was very hard. I mean, I didn't skip scenes, but I did avert my eyes at times. Like, I'm not judging, how you had to impact this movie. It was a hard watch, to say the least.
Yeah, I think it's different when it's fiction because in I've never been like that for documentaries. I've always been like, this is a real thing that happened. I'm just gonna watch it. Like I'm not. Maybe I'll look away if it's really disgusting, but I won't do it because it makes me uncomfortable. Like the dog stuff in
Supposed
this
to make
movie.
you uncomfortable.
Exactly. Like
You know.
the animal stuff in this movie made me super uncomfortable and I just didn't want to watch it. So I'm like, I'm not doing it. But in documentaries, it is different because it is like disrespectful almost to be like, that's too much for me when this poor person lived it or that poor animal or whatever. But for this movie, it's fiction. It's just not necessary. Like documentaries, you got to show the real stuff. For this, you don't. And yes, the characters, first of all, like 90% of them are just the worst person in the world. Like you said, that's kind of the point. That's the message we're getting across is that people and animals, I mean, they're not that different. Like the way you have horrible people in the
Especially
world.
when you live in the circumstances that many of them lived in,
They
so to
live
speak.
in, yeah, I mean, yeah, the way that they're grouped is good and the story is told really well, but yeah, I mean, this guy who I really thought was a good guy, the guy who wants to fuck his brother's wife, I was like, oh, he's got that about him, but he's a good guy. And then he's like, oh I'm gonna put my dog into the dog fighting ring, and I'm like, damn it, yeah, you almost
But
had
here's
me.
the thing about it. There is nuance to that, though, right? Because he's not doing that. I mean, it's terrible. It's a terrible thing, but he's doing it to save. It's the only way for him to make money to be able to free this woman and her child that he loves.
Yeah, I
Um,
know, and it's tough to look
so,
at because of
so,
that.
so, when I say, oh, he's just a blanket bad person, he's not really a good or bad person. He's a complex person. He's a
Hmm.
complex character with motivations that you can empathize with almost. He is resorting to this as a means to make money to live a happier life elsewhere. He is probably the only person in this movie that, well, no, but he's the only person in the family that actually seems to care about the dog. And I know it's weird to say
Yes,
that because
which
he
is why
puts the
he,
dog in the ring,
yeah,
but unlike his brother who doesn't give a shit about the dog and
yeah,
threatens to shoot the dog in the fucking head, you can't say that the Gael Garcia character who you're referencing doesn't care about the dog. And that's why I get your perspective. I wouldn't call him a good person. I wouldn't call him a bad person either, though. It's a complicated situation, and therefore he's a complex character with motivations we can understand, even if the means we don't agree with. I mean, it's almost like Thanos, to relate it to a more mainstream thing. Thanos kills half of the world, the universe's life. That's awful. His motivations, though, yeah, it makes sense.
yeah. Think about how many
If you
dogs
know his
Thanos killed.
story. So, I mean, yeah. So, like,
Billions.
it is. That's what I mean. Circumstances that drive decisions for all of these characters, and how, So I thought the middle portion was the most interesting of the three.
Like,
Between Daniel, it was Daniel and Valeria. That
yeah,
was the
Valeria.
couple.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I thought that was the most interesting portion. One, it has the least amount of explicit animal abuse.
Yeah,
Obviously, there's the whole thing where her dog is stuck under the boards, but that, I mean, compared to everything else, it
that
really
was
didn't.
fine.
It wasn't that bothersome. And I found that subsection of this film fascinating in the sense that what is the point of this movie? How the depth of the impact of our choices, like the impact of our choices, how deep it goes, how that runs like a butterfly effect. You know what I mean? Um, and you see that because she is the innocent, person in that crash that we see at the beginning, right? When they're running away from the dog fighting ring because
Hmm.
he freaking shanks the guy.
Yeah.
Um, which rightfully so. And she gets, I mean, she's a model, right? And her whole life and her relationship, everything is derailed by this decision that someone else made, who he himself was kind of forced into that situation. It's just this complex spider web of decisions affecting other people and how far that goes in the end. I mean, she ends up losing her leg entirely. I mean, their whole
Yeah.
relationship falls apart,
She's one of the more
because
sympathetic characters for
she probably
sure.
is the most sympathetic character in the whole
Yeah. Well,
movie.
I like the the woman, the woman with the baby, the
Oh,
one with the kid.
yeah, you're
Yeah,
right. She's the most sympathetic character in the movie,
yeah.
I guess. But
But
they're right there.
Valeria's, I mean, she fucking goes through it, dude.
And largely, it's, I mean, when she gets upset and she, gets into fights with her, partner Daniel, who seems to have left his family for her.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Crazy shit,
like,
dude.
which, I mean, pales in comparison to what we see, but he might be just one of the purely worst people in the movie, even though he's not abusing dogs, just because the people, or at least that we focus on, that are, part of these dog fights, like I noted earlier, have justifications that at least can be sympathized or empathized with, whereas he just leaves his family because he's, I guess, presumably a piece of shit.
Yeah, like you can
Um,
understand why everyone does the things they do. You're like, I get it. Like I wouldn't do that, but I get it. This guy
I,
just sucks.
I would say I wouldn't, but it's interesting.
Well,
Like,
yeah, I wouldn't do a dog fight. I'd probably go work at fucking McDonald's or something. But yeah, I get it.
I agree, but it's the whole thing's, it's tough. It's tough to watch. It's tough to swallow, and it's a tough situation for these characters that you can understand. There was an authenticity to the relationships, and I thought that
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
saved the film from personally being a total oblivion for me. Um, just because, like I said, it was fascinating to see those interactions play out in between the imagery that was a bit harder to watch. So, I mean, that's why I wanted you to go first, because we agree about how this movie, where we stand in terms of how this movie portrays that analogy, but where we disagree, but amicably, is that I think that at least the movie was able to accomplish what it was trying to do, even if I don't, and it does it well from a technical standpoint, even if I don't necessarily enjoy it. And I don't, just, the film's not for me. But I respect people who do like this film and say, despite the brutal imagery, this is life, this happens, because it's interesting. Like, I actually find it fascinating, because I don't necessarily disagree with you about the whole documentary narrative thing, but at the same time, unlike a documentary, none of that was real. No dogs were actually harmed. None of that actually happened. It's fake.
Yeah, that is ironic a little bit,
So there's
right?
an irony to it, and that I'm not even disagreeing with you. I just want to point out how we are being a little hypocritical, I guess, but understandably so.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I mean, I yeah, I mean that's a really good point. I will watch horrible shit happen if it's real, but I won't want to watch it if it's not real, which doesn't really make sense, but my thought process is it's necessary when it's real and it's not necessary when it's not real. You know what I mean? So I'm like if it's not
Yeah.
necessary, I don't feel bad not watching it. But if it is
I mean,
necessary and it's real, I would feel bad if I was like I can't look at that.
right, because there's people who are actually living it. And I mean, for the stuff that's fictional, like, there is still people who,
People experience that. Yeah.
who experience it. So, there is a level of reality to a film like this, but you're right. It's not like they're documenting real life, where, you're saying, okay, like, this is so hard to watch, but this is happening. This is really something happening in front of me. This is for educational purposes,
Yeah.
to be a better, well-rounded individual in society. I need to know what's going on. People need to know what's going on. Um, but you're right. There are probably ways that Amoris Perros could have gone about this analogy without being so explicit the whole time.
Yeah,
That
I
was a little
genuinely hate this
difficult.
movie. I straight up hate this movie, dude.
Is this your least favorite of all of them?
Yes, it's the third movie on Letterboxd I've ever given a half a star to.
See, I don't know if I would say it's worse than The Jazz Singer. I think The Jazz Singer is a terrible, terrible, terrible film with real reflections of horrible racial, stereotypes in society. I'm not going to necessarily
Jazz Singer was
say,
terrible.
say that I don't understand Amoris Paros, but personally for me, some of the positives of the film that I found, that I highlighted, put it above The Jazz Singer, which is just should be completely forgotten in history.
Yeah, the Jazz Singer was terrible, but at least like I don't know. Also, when I saw that this movie after the first 5 minutes with all the dog shit, I was like, this movie's 2.5 hours long. Like I was just like, how much of this shit do I have to sit through? And it was a lot. It was a
It
lot
wasn't
to sit
easy.
through.
No, I'm giving you that. It was not easy, man.
And like
It
Ben
was tough.
Hur is a long ass movie, and it was so much more digestible than this.
That's because it's entertaining and actually a great
Ben-Hur was
movie.
great, man.
Ben-Hur's a great film, whereas Amores Perros is, at least to me, an okay film with some really unacceptable imagery. It's fascinating though, because you and I will watch the most egregious shit happen to people in fictional stories and not
Yep.
bat an eye.
Do not
And
care at all.
I think that I don't think that is something that is just, solely you and I. I think that there's this real desensitization. Is that the word? Desensitization.
Sure.
Whatever. You guys know what I'm saying. There's a real we're really desensitized. That's an actual word. So I'll word it that way.
There you go.
We are desensitized to human violence because it's all around us all the time. The news cycle is so depressing. There is so much anger and violence against people in the world. We see it all the time. So when we see it in a fictional movie, we're desensitized to it. We're used to it. But you're right. We are not, I mean, at least where you and I, our situations where we come from, we are used to animals being so pure, and especially
Yeah.
dogs being, I mean, it's not just any animal. It's not like The Revenant when the bear raped DiCaprio and they had to kill it. We were like, okay, well, the bear was raping him.
Yeah. Like, I don't feel bad when a bad animal gets killed. Like, I'm like,
Right.
oh, that sucks. But I'm like, I don't feel
Well,
bad.
we call it a bad animal. I mean, they're a wild animal. It's just their nature.
Bad in the fictional, bad for the narrative. I mean, you know what I mean?
Right.
They're antagonistic.
But these are, I mean, and for what it's worth with dogs, there are street dogs that are violent so sometimes unfortunately have to be put down. But you're right. We live in a society, especially where we're from, where dogs are not necessarily street dogs with violent tendencies. They are domesticated companions with endless amounts of love for us. And so, we are just not used to that kind of stuff. And therefore it is so hard to digest. It's not digestible, like you said, and we don't like it. And I just think that, in all fairness to the film, that is more of a reflection on us than it. That doesn't mean we like it. That doesn't mean we want to watch it. But that is just more of a reflection on where we are as a society and how we take violence from humans and violence from animals compared to the film itself, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's just an innocence to animals that I don't think humans have. Even the best human, adult, because a child is different, but an adult human, they could be the best person in the world. I just see an animal, and I'm like, that's just pure and innocent, It's kind of fucked up, but I saw this lady on the news in China. I don't know if you saw it. She got mauled by like a mountain lion or something, or a snow leopard. She got mauled by a snow leopard in China while she was skiing. So immediately I'm like, oh my God, that's terrible, right? Turns out she walked up to the snow leopard, deliberately went as close to it as possible and took a picture with it, and then the snow leopard mauled her. So I think of it like, I felt bad that happened to her, but it's part of me it's hard to be like, it's a wild animal. Like, what do
It's
you
her fault.
expect? Like, you are at fault that you saw a snow leopard. She was like hundreds of feet away from it. She went out of her way to go close to it so she could take a picture next to it, because it's an adorable cat. It's cute. Snow leopards are adorable.
Mhm.
When they show their teeth
From a distance,
yeah.
they're adorable.
When they start growling at you, they're not. So I see things like that, and I'm like, oh, the Revenant. I don't feel bad for the bear because it attacked the person. But in real life, I think that you know that disconnect where you're like, in real life, that's what everyone should know that's what's going to happen, so you could get out of that situation.
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, it's just the innocence of animals is hard to compete with when you're watching horrific
I mean,
things.
look at it this way: a bear, in a vacuum, a bear is as innocent as a dog or a snow leopard.
100%.
It's just nature. That's
100%.
nature at play right there, including us. If that's Darwinism. Hello, like, if you're gonna go up to a snow leopard or a bear or some wild animal that is not domesticated, that's on you, not the animal. And then, of course, the animal's the one that's going to put down, because we have to value human life over animal life, of course. But who's at fault? Not the animal. They're not a bad animal. They're just wild. That they're in their own habitat.
Yeah. I guess I feel bad always for what's being hurt, like, in fiction, because I mean, besides humans on humans, I don't give a shit if a human kills a human in a movie. Like, that shit happens all the
Well,
time.
it depends the
But
context in the movie, but
But
that's
like, yeah, if the bear's hunting Leo, I'm like, I feel bad for Leo. I'm like, I want him to win because he's being hunted in the woods. Like, I need him to win. This bear is fucking crazy. But I remember watching Logan, and these guys were hunting, and they shot a bear with arrows. They didn't put it down, which is one thing after they shot it. But besides that, I just felt so bad for the bear, and they're hunting. And I don't know the laws of bears, but any sort of hunting in any movies, I'm like, ah, fuck, I feel bad for that deer. I feel bad, but that is nature. Men hunting animals is also nature. That is natural. If they're gonna eat it and skin it and do whatever they can with it, I still feel really bad for it, but that is also nature.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's a real hypocritical level to it for all of us because, again, I mean, you and I love burgers, right?
Fucking
We're
love burgers, dude.
they're delicious, but we're eating cows, right? And we don't want to see it. We don't
I
want to
could
think
not.
about
I would
it.
not be able to see it.
We don't want to think about it, but we are taking part in a society that is propping up violence against animals for our gain. And so, again, and that's another thing where I look at Amoros Perros, right? And I say, are these feelings a reflection of the film, or are these feelings a reflection of the way we interact with these ideas? And I think it's more so the latter. And again, it doesn't mean that I obviously didn't highly rate it. I didn't think it was a masterpiece.
Yeah.
But I'm also not necessarily pinning all of that on Iñárritu or the film, because I think it really is more of how we interact with or choose to not interact with violence against animals, wild, domesticated, however the case may be. So yeah, I mean, it wasn't a great movie, but more so I would say it wasn't a movie for me, is the way I would really describe it. I respect people who had a better experience with it.
Are you gonna be vegan now? After
No.
talking about burgers and cows?
No, but I can at least I have the wherewithal to point out the hypocrisy in it.
Yeah, you can be like, yeah, I'm a fucking piece of shit, but I love burgers.
I still love burgers. I might have a burger tonight for dinner.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Shit, you make me hungry after all this animal talk.
I would never eat veal though, because that's like baby lamb, and you're eating a baby.
Is veal? Wait, what is venison? That's deer.
Yes,
one of them
is
deer.
deer.
Okay, so veal is the baby.
And veal
baby
is baby lamb, and that's like too far because it's a baby. I don't think we should be killing baby animals for food.
I know, and also, does it taste that different as a baby? It's the same animal, right? People say it's like really good. I refuse to eat that.
It might be. It might be really good. I have to draw a line somewhere, and I can't say I've never had a burger where maybe it's a calf. I guess I don't know, but I choose to believe it's not, right?
I would hope not. I mean, that's got to be fucking... I feel like they should tell you that if you're eating a baby. Like, at least with veal, they tell you, hey, this is kind of fucked up. It's a baby
lamb, but I don't know. So anyway, that's pretty much all I got on Amoros Perros. Watch at your own discretion. Look, for what it's worth, Jack and I seem to be in the minority about this. Most people, it's highly rated as like a 4.2 on Letterboxd. Rotten Tomatoes like 90 something. So it is regarded, despite its brutality, as a great film. So I'm not going to say don't watch it. I mean, Jack and I would probably say personally not, but again, we seem to be in the minority about that.
Watch at your own discretion. Advised you against all the fucked up stuff that happens, but maybe you'll find it powerful and entertaining like everyone else does.
For real though, Jack's friend Stephanie, don't be afraid to comment more numbers. I highly doubt the next one. Steph. I highly doubt the next one is also going to be animal abuse related. And if it is, and you don't want to comment numbers after that, well, I understand. But
yeah, I can't believe you did that to me, Steph. That was fucked up.
All right, so that is Amoros Perros. Why don't we move on? Oh my God, to the box office numbers. Wow, this might truly be the latest we've ever done the box office.
Holy
numbers.
Shit!
But you know what? There isn't always a Super Bowl to talk about. So
that's true. We needed to talk about that.
We needed to talk about Sam Darnold. So why don't we get into the box office numbers for the weekend of February 6th through the 8th? So Super Bowl weekend, these are the box office numbers. In 5th place in its opening weekend of release, making $4.5 million, is the new film Dracula. One of my coworkers was telling me about this. I don't know much about it. It's just another Dracula adaptation. It's like more of an indie indie take
I
on
heard it's
it.
good. Christoph
I heard
Waltz
it's
is in it.
yeah, Christoph Waltz is in it. I did see that. So that comes into fifth. In fourth place in its opening weekend of release, making $5.5 million, is the film Stray Kids: The Dominate Experience. This is a concert film. I looked it up.
Oh,
It is a concert film about a K-pop group called Stray Kids, and something on their world tour. So,
okay.
concert films always seem to do pretty well. There's clearly an audience for that. In third place, in its second weekend of release, making $6 million more dollars, is the independently funded film Iron Lung. Um, this is a really interesting story going on here, Jack, with Iron Lung. As we talked a little bit about last week, it was entirely funded and distributed by the YouTuber Markiplier. He self-financed the film. It cost about a little under $3 million to make, and through 2 weeks has $34 million worldwide. It's a massive win for
Wow.
for independent cinema.
A YouTube movie is crazy.
Massive win. I believe it's like based off of a game
It's based
adapted
on a
from.
video game, yeah.
Yeah.
How's do you know anything about the reviews or anything like that? How's it doing?
Mixed, but audiences seem to like it, and it's making a lot of money. So I would say it's a success. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
this
just
is a
financially,
huge success.
definitely. It's got a 3.2 on Letterboxd. I mean, for a YouTube movie, that's really good. Anywhere in the threes.
Let's see. I mean, I don't like to live and die by the Rotten Tomatoes, but like the critics didn't love it, but it's got an 89 audience score. So
There you go.
it's
Good for him.
the fans of this game and the fans of Markiplier are showing out and showing big time, and it's doing well. And I assume that Markiplier will be able to do more films in the future if he chooses to. This is a fun story. In second place in its opening weekend of release, making $7.2 million, is the Kevin James film Solo Mio. I don't really know much about this. I just saw he actually, speaking of the Super Bowl, he was there in character from this film to promote Solo Mio. I don't really know much about it, but it comes in second place. So good for that. And in first place, in its second weekend of release, making $10 million, a 47.7% drop from opening weekend, is the new Sam Raimi film Send Help, which we finally both saw. We're going to get into that in a second. It brings its worldwide total $53.7 million. That is also doing pretty well. It's interesting, Jack, if you noticed, for the first time in months, no Avatar, no Zootopia 2 in the top 5.
Zootopia 2's finally out.
Zootopia 2 finished in 6th place. It finally, it took 11 weeks for Zootopia 2 to drop out, 11 to 12 weeks to drop out of the top 5. So still no Zootopia 3 announcement.
But nothing.
But those are your box office numbers for the weekend of February 6th through the 8th. Congratulations to Sam Raimi and Send Help, which we finally saw and we'll talk about.
We can talk about that right now.
No, let's wait a bit.
Oh, okay.
What are you doing? Nah, guy, let's talk about Send Help.
I'm going to talk about Send Help, actually. Okay, yeah, so here are our reviews and ratings for Send Help. Spoilers ahead. We're just going to jump right into spoilers, right?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, because it's you can't really talk about this movie without talking about exactly what happens.
It's just easier to talk about it when you get into the nitty-gritty.
Yeah. I'll go first since you went first for the last for one. I'll say I give this 7.5 sushi rolls out of 10.
That's a good one. I give this film 8.5 coconut water buckets out of 10.
8.5? Wow, that's way higher than I thought.
This film was awesome, man. This was a great time at the cinema,
it was
sure. Cool. Clever script. It was really well written, I thought. The performances were super fun. Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien having a blast. I think Linda Little is truly a great character. She was really well written, know, and I think she's she sticks out. You know what I mean? She's not just like a bland character. She really, I mean, obviously it's a fun name, Linda Little, but she has like a real interesting story and a personality.
Yeah.
Obviously a huge part of that is Rachel McAdams, but the way she's written and the way her and Dylan O'Brien's character play off each other it was a lot of fun. I had a great time watching the movie, and that's, sometimes that's what it's about, is the experience. And this was a great experience. I'll start with this before I get your thoughts. Sam Raimi originally had this film through Sony. They wanted to make the film straight to streaming. He said, fuck that. And he took it to, where'd he take it? Disney. It ended up coming out through one of Disney's studios, and they released it in theaters. And I
Good.
think that was a big part of the experience, was
Yeah.
seeing this on the big screen. So I,
Good
I, I
job,
loved
Sam
it.
Raimi. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I didn't love as much as you, but I enjoyed. I had a good time. Fucking disgusting ass movie, but like in a good way. I mean, gore, classic Sam Raimi. So much gore, got me on a jump scare, which I did not expect from
Which
something like
one?
this. The one where she sees the zombie on the
Oh,
beach,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
it
yeah,
disappears, and then
yeah.
one shows up behind her. Holy shit, that made
That
me
was
jump out of
very
my
Evil
skin, dude.
Dead-esque. And,
Very evil skin. Practical, very practical.
love the practical effects on this film. Yeah, I totally agree that, it is Sam Raimi back at what he is known for, which is over the top horror. And I mean, obviously it's not like super scary, but it's horror, it's thrills. There was some
It's very,
exciting,
yeah.
energetic thrills in this film. And it pairing that with the fun action sequences between them at times,
Yeah.
like it made for such a ride.
And it was funny too. A lot of great one-liners. Dylan O'Brien had a lot of great one-liners. They you could see them like riffing off each. I mean, obviously like scripted, but like the characters just like making jokes about each other, making fun of each other. Fucking Dylan O'Brien's an asshole, but she's a lunatic psycho. I saw Sam Raimi say, or my friend told me this. I don't know if it's true, but she said that Sam Raimi, his last movie was Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange, and that he realized that Rachel McAdams was so underutilized in that film, in that whole universe, just the way that she's built as a love interest to a hero. So he wanted to make her the forefront of his next movie, and she was phenomenal. Her descent into madness was very believable. It was very like Lord of the Flies type, like
Yeah, absolutely.
she is a loser in real life, and then she gets to the island where she has people relying on her, and she's basically the queen of the island, and she loves it, and she prolongs getting saved. So I thought it was a great character study for her, Linda Little.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that the whole point of the film, really, besides it being a fun, entertaining film, but from a narrative standpoint, it's about that power dynamic between our two characters, in the one in the office setting, and then later on, obviously, for the majority of the film, in the island, in a survival kind of setting. And how seeing that dynamic kind of switch, and it wasn't completely sudden. Obviously, there is, you get the plane crash, which was a terrifying scene, honestly.
That was a
You know,
great, yeah, that was so great.
terrifying. When you have the guy he named VP like hanging out the side of the plane,
Dono
Dono with his tie hanging on the side of the plane. Oh my God,
just
but
closed the
even
window.
that was the first one where you see her survival instincts, obviously, like when she picks up the fork as he's trying to get her seat, and just this
Yeah,
slow shifting where, you know, it's almost like kingdom, the king of your domain or the queen of your domain. In The Office, what's his name? Bradley,
Bradley.
Bradley Preston, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
He's the king of that domain. This is his world, is running this big, like, Fortune 500 company, even though his dad built it.
Uh-huh.
Whereas she's obviously doesn't fit in. She's good at numbers, but she's not very sociable, and then she's put in this predicament in this new environment where the power dynamic switches, and she's relying on him in the office. Now he has to rely on her for survival, and she picks up on this slowly and starts to use it more and more to her advantage. And I like it because she doesn't lose that sense of Linda Little humanity. She's psychotic, obviously, and she descends into this psychosis. But for the majority of the film, even in the scene where remember, he poisons her, he betrays her, he takes the raft, he tries to escape, but he fucked up the raft and it falls apart, and she poisons him with the toxins and makes him think that she is chopping off his dick. And she does. I thought she was doing it.
I
I
thought
thought
she
she
was doing
actually
it too.
was.
The blood
And then,
squirted.
right. I was like, oh my God, that's nuts. And then she didn't actually do it. she's already gone pretty crazy at that point, but there's still this level of her humanity that exists in there. So it's not just this sudden flip of the, switch.
Yeah, and even when she straight up murders two people, his fiance and the boat driver, she takes the first day off in weeks of survival. She's like, I'm done for today. I can't. Like you could see it impacting her.
Right. It's
She's
not
not.
like she's just
She
used to
did murder
murdering
two
people,
people. Yeah,
but
she
she's
did
never
murder two
done
people.
that.
Exactly. She straight up killed two people, but she's like feeling the repercussions of that. So you could still see that there's humanity in her.
I
But
mean, even
going back,
after in the moment, when she does it, she backs up like almost like, what did I
yeah,
do?
she's
You
not
know,
happy about it.
she's certainly
Um,
questioning it. It's not like she's just a killer.
what's it called? Going back to the plane scene, I loved that they actually see her like. It's very small detail, but you see her swimming through the plane and going up to the surface. Because every movie ever, I feel like there's a plane crash and then they just wake up on the shore. I like the
Yeah.
idea of like her seatbelt was stuck and she had to go out and Bradley
I mean,
crashes
he
and
just,
wakes up on the shore somehow.
but it's
But
fine. It's
yeah, it's fine. But at least you could see her survival instincts kick in and she immediately swims to the top. Like,
I think almost that's interesting. I think I'm glad that we don't see him, get to the shore, because it's almost like it showcases reflections of their characters where she has to scratch and fight and claw every bit, for herself. He's lucking his way into
he
this. You
got
know what I
lucky.
mean? Just
Yeah.
like in The Office, like she spent 7 years fighting, scratching, clawing to try and get that promotion, working her ass off. And because he's the son, he waltzes on in and you know what I mean? He lucks his way on into the top. So, you know, I don't even mind that that's how Raimi portrayed that, because it's like a reflection of their characters and their luck.
Yeah, I like that. I think this movie had a little too much throw up for me. It was kind of gross, dude. I don't.
Well, it's
What
mostly the one scene where she's just
that and
projectile vomiting onto him.
that was disgusting. And then the boar snotting all over her face was so fucking gross.
Yeah, but that's Sam Raimi at his best. This
I know.
grotesque, really detailed gore, over the top blood and other things. Like, it's very Evil Dead-esque. It's like, this is the most Evil Dead film he has made since the trilogy that he made.
Yeah. But otherwise, I mean, Dylan O'Brien knows how to play such an asshole, bro. He got the
So,
laugh down, the way he talks.
oh my God, the laugh was great.
His laugh is so good.
So what are some things that bring it like down for you from where I am per se? Because I'm not saying like I didn't give it a 10 out of 10. The film is what it is. It knows what it is. It's a good movie. What brings you down to that from like a standard 8, this is a good movie, to, okay, there was some issues with it?
You know, I really liked the discovery of the house at the end, but basically everything after that I didn't love. I didn't love how she ends her story. I don't love that she's off the island and like first of all, how the fuck is her bird alive? Don't know. Shouldn't be alive.
Yeah, well,
Um
I thought that too. I was like,
that
how the
bird
hell's the
was
bird
alone
alive?
for multiple weeks and months. But I
That
don't know.
bird is the real survivor.
I like the idea of her being successful at the end, but I don't like the way they did it because they set her up as like, I'm never leaving, I'm never leaving. And I get that she wanted someone to rely on her, so that's why she wants to stay with him. But her whole character is I'm never leaving, I'm never leaving. And then the second he dies, I'm assuming he's dead. They don't show it, but then she leaves.
No, they say it. They say she was the only survivor.
Yeah, but they also said they found her on a raft in the middle of the ocean. So he could be
Right,
still
because,
alive on the island, but I doubt it.
well, no, she hit him in the head with a. It was implied that she hits him in the head with a golf club.
Yeah, she also stabbed him. He was fine. I'm assuming he's
Right,
dead, but I'm just saying I would like to see
he.
that.
I take it that he's dead. Personally, I get what you're saying, but like, it's not some. Why, think about it like this? Why did her character want to stay on the island? Not just because she's there, but because, like you said, and like I said, she is in power. She's in control.
She
And
likes people
have to.
relying on her.
She likes that feeling, and that dynamic. The whole reason she doesn't want to go back to her old life is because she would be silly old Linda Little. But once she kills, because she has to kill Bradley now.
Yeah, she does have to kill Bradley.
So once she does that, there's no reason for her to stay there. She goes back on the raft, and like now she's successful because they found her. She survived this plane crash after all that time. They thought she was dead. They had called off the search and rescue, and now she's big and successful. She has a book coming out. So like she's powerful now. That's what she wants. That's ultimately what she was looking for. So I can believe that she would leave the island for that.
So no investigation on the fiance just going missing? What's going on there?
Yeah, they never
I know
really
you can't do it just like because that'd be too much going on, but
they
like,
never really touch upon that. I guess they can assume that she got lost at sea. I don't know. I get that part isn't really clear. I guess it doesn't necessarily matter,
it
but
doesn't matter. But there's just some things that I think in this movie, part of why it brings it down. One is that I think there's just too many coincidences for it to be like a good enough story for me to be like, this is an 8 or 9 out of 10. Like, I like what they give us, but there's a lot of coincidences. I mean, she dies and her hand is up like this, and the ring is the only thing sticking out because that's the only thing he'd recognize. Like, okay, sure. I don't know.
yeah, I mean, she
There's
was
other
washed up
stuff.
on shore. Yeah, I mean, there were some coincidences for sure. I don't know if for me it's enough to overbear.
It
It
just
being a
shows me that
clever
Sam Raimi
story.
didn't really know what else to do, so he's like, just say her arm is sticking out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, tying it back to the ring where she kind of spots it early on, like in the office, though. They have that shot where she's like looking, and I don't know. I thought it kind of tied some of these ends together. Is it a little silly and over the top? Absolutely, absolutely, but it works for me within the context of what Raimi is playing with here. I think it works. This wasn't a film that was meant to be grounded in any sort of realism, right? So,
No, no, no. No,
uh,
it was very enjoyable for sure. I do love me some Raimi, but I'm really glad this movie's doing well and was good because, yeah, like we said, he's got some stinkers, in his filmography. So I'm glad he's on the up and up right now. It's very exciting.
yeah, I agree. So I liked it. I think this is one of the best movies he's made in years. Um, Probably actually his best movie since Spider-Man 2, right? So
Probably, yeah. What do you have? A couple? Did he have an Evil Dead in between?
no, no, not him. There's been Evil Dead movies, but
Oh, but he didn't do it.
um, no, he finished. I think he just did the first two in Army of Darkness.
Oh,
He did the Oz and the Great and Powerful
oh
film that came
yeah.
out. That
Spider-Man
wasn't
3, Oz,
Spider-Man
Doctor
3.
Strange.
Right. So, he hasn't done a ton and they haven't been great. This is his best film in years, and I think best in Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, no, it was really enjoyable. I definitely recommend watching it. It's fun. There's a really great balance of comedy and like dark, grounded fucking stuff going on, but it's a really good time in the movies. See it in theaters.
Absolutely. I was getting a phone call about that's why I was looking away. I was getting a phone call like a reminder for an upcoming doctor's appointment. So
Dude,
everyone out there that knows,
don't go to the doctors.
no, why would I go to the doctor when I could be stranded on an island with Rachel McAdams? I
Facts.
can't
Yeah,
believe he was complaining about it, bro. I will say this: Sam Raimi tried his fucking darnest to make Rachel McAdams ugly, and he failed.
oh my god.
She was still bad.
She was bad. I mean, when she had tuna all over her face, I was like, oh, but besides that,
Yeah, how was that low key grosser than when she was covered in the boar blood? I'm not even
oh, it
gonna
was
lie. Like
grosser.
the tuna was
It was the
actually,
noises they were making.
yeah, it was like, and then like I'm like, oh, Dylan O'Brien, I kind of feel you right now. But then like you cannot make Rachel McAdams ugly. It's impossible.
No. And then they they make her, she's on the island, she's making sushi and she's moisturizing and stuff, but bro, she looks so good when
Yeah,
she's on the island and she's in the waterfall and oh my god.
yeah, I love you, Rachel McAdams. If I was stranded on an island and you were taking care of me, you would never hear from me again. Never.
That's your dream.
That is
You wouldn't let
my.
her off.
I would, yeah, I'd find the house. I'd tell her, I'd be like, yo, let's just live here.
Let's
Like,
move in.
let's
That's
just
so
hang
funny.
out, man. Tropical island. So
Yeah, what a dumbass.
that's Send Help. Everyone go check it out. It's in theaters right now.
Yes, sir. We're gonna talk a little bit about Fallout Season 2. You have not finished Fallout Season 2. You have one episode left, so
I have one episode left.
I just want to get we could talk for like 5 minutes, just vague thoughts, no spoilers for Fallout Season 2. Just how are you feeling about the season so far?
I think it's pretty on par with the first season in terms of quality. I think they're about the same. I think it's interesting. I mean, I've never really played the Fallout games. This was always my first like foray into the franchise.
Hmm.
Um and I think it's great. I like that the world isn't the show isn't so hyper focused on explaining the world to you. You learn as you go what you just need to know, and that's fine. I like that, you
I
know?
love it.
I think if they just were like spitting out like it's always show don't tell. If they were just spitting out like the lore of Fallout, like we're reading a textbook, it would be a lot less enjoyable. Obviously, I think the dynamic this season between Ella Purnell's Lucy and Walton Goggins' Howard has been top notch. It has truly been some of the best in the show. We talked a couple of weeks ago about Walton Goggins. He's
Hmm.
always great. It's just such a fun, colorful show with such, bright sets and scenes and fun dialogue. And this season has, for, what I said about the lore, but this season, unlike the first season, is starting to open that up more and starting to show us like what happened at Shady Sands and how Vault Tech and all the big companies tie into the end of the world and everything that went down, and seeing the parallel storylines has been really fascinating. So I think it's great television.
I agree. I think season one was kind of easing us into the world, and season two is ready to get a little weirder. And I think season three is going to be here is all the weird shit in this world, and we're just throwing you into the mix. I've only played the Fallout 4, which I hear is a lot of people's favorites. I think they like New Vegas, which is what season 2 is based off of,
Mm-hmm.
and Fallout 4. That game is great, but you play a vault dweller who wakes up 200 years after, you're in cryo and you wake up 200 years later, and you kind of just get, like the show, thrown into the world. You have no idea what's going on. A week ago you were living with your family in their house, and now the bombs dropped, and now you're 200 years later. And you basically, they mention a lot in season 2 the Enclave, right? Have you heard? Do you remember they say the Enclave?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that is. I remember hearing about it when I played the games, so I Googled what is the Enclave. And the point of the show, and they're really making a good point, is that they don't tell you what the Enclave is because it's a very mysterious organization, and you're not supposed to know what it is. And I like that at the risk of confusing their viewers, they're staying true to what would actually happen. I mean, not random people are going to walk around being like, "This is what the Enclave is. This is what that is." No, they're keeping it mysterious because it is a mysterious organization. I think it's great. I think season 2 is better than season 1. I
I think they're
think
about the same.
I'm gonna say, not to discourage you or anything, I don't love the finale. It's kind of boring, just compared to everything else that has happened in the season. But it's not bad by any means. But I do think the season 1 finale is way better. But season 2 as a whole, I like better than season 1.
Brother, after that Stranger Things finale, I don't know how I could be
Oh,
disappointed
it's a
from a
good
finale.
finale. It's just not like great. I think I was expecting more from it, which is fine. It's like less action packed and there's more twists and turns. Um, but a great addition to season 2 is Justin Theroux's Robert House, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's got some
Yeah.
charisma on him.
Yeah, he is. I love. And you talk about mystery. That's a character where throughout the season we're really wondering, who are you exactly? We know you're very powerful, very mysterious. Who are you? What are your intentions, and how does that play into the fallout of the world? Right?
Uh,
Like what really is going on here? And obviously how we get Howard's like interactions in the 50s before the end of the world, and
yeah.
kind of how he um with the same as Hank McClane, right, too, where it's just like what role did you play in
Yeah,
all
I love that
this?
mystery.
And that
I
we
love that they
slowly
all know each
learn.
other.
Yeah, they all
It's
know each
so
other.
cool.
They all know each other, but like sort of, and like obviously it's been 200 years, so like there's
Yeah.
just a lot to unpack
Like
there.
everyone from Vault 31 has met the ghoul before, but like it's so cool to think about that.
Yeah, it is really sick. So I've really enjoyed it. I got to finish it up tonight or tomorrow or whenever with the last episode. But I am really looking forward to more seasons of Fallout. This has got to be one of Amazon Prime's better shows. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, my goat Norm. I need to see more of Norm. I love Norm, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking figuring everything out
I
on
mean,
his
he's
own.
been separated all season from his family. Like he's
Yeah.
just kind of doing his own thing this season. But
Amazon Prime, like we will glaze the shit out of Apple TV originals. I think Amazon Prime is just right there. I think Amazon Prime, they're close, man. They got The Boys, they got Invincible, they got Fallout. They're coming out with the God of War series, which is gonna be so good. If it's anything like Fallout, it's gonna be so good.
I don't know that I would say they are in the same quality of Apple TV. I put the Apple TV quality of shows with the prestige that has been HBO for several years. I don't know that I would put Amazon to that level. I
Well,
think
I'm talking streaming originals. Amazon is right below Apple TV for me.
that's fair. I don't know that I agree, but that like
And
you
you
have
know,
HBO third.
well, what's an HBO streaming original? Like, I'm not counting Game of Thrones because that was like on TV.
Well, it does. I mean, half of these they'll get, like, same with Paramount. They're streaming originals that get airtime on TV. So I don't know that that's much of a. I would say, like, obviously Succession. I think was complete
Succession's one
to.
of them. I never saw it.
House of the Dragon is a
That counts. That was gas.
uh,
Peacemaker,
right. I mean,
all
I
the
can't
DC stuff.
see her, but I would. I mean, HBO is prestige television and always has been.
I honestly think Netflix has a better argument. I mean,
No, no, it doesn't.
yeah.
Netflix originals? What
Back
is
when
what are
All right, Stranger Things was peak. They have the Haunting of Hill House and Bly Manor and all of the haunted shit that you like
Yeah, that's
from
great.
Flanagan. What else do they have? They have. I mean, I like the first couple seasons of Outer Banks was good, but that's not anything
All right.
crazy.
HBO has, you don't like to count Game of Thrones. It's still an HBO show though.
No, but you
HBO
can't
is
do that
prestige.
because that's like saying, like, a show that came out 40 years ago that's on HBO is an HBO like it's an HBO show
No,
because
if
the
it's
channel.
HBO made the show. Yeah, but it's an HBO is prestige television.
Yeah, but I'm not
It's
counting
just-
anything that's not originally on streaming.
I don't think that's an important distinction personally.
So I can count an HBO show that came out 25 years ago before streaming existed. Like, that's not fair. That means they have decades before
Well,
any of
you
the
want
others.
to use Netflix. Netflix got to the streaming game first. So
Yeah, but I'm only using their streaming originals. I'm not using
I don't
things that they
understand. I don't think
own.
there's much of an important distinction in my opinion. But even then, they had Welcome to Derry. They have Euphoria, which is extremely popular. That show Task, the first season of The Last of Us was incredible. You don't want to count The Sopranos as one of the greatest shows of all time.
Doesn't
They have the
count.
white. They have it. It does. It's HBO. They have the True
It's
Detective
not a
series.
streaming show. It's not streaming.
I'm talking HBO. HBO versus.
But that's just comparing channels then. Like, okay, then
What's
channel
the difference
36, like, you know what I mean? Like,
It's all television. It's all
but
television.
I'm not comparing TV channels. I'm comparing streaming services.
Streaming and TV
for their
channels
originals.
it's all the same. It's television made. It's what's the difference?
It's because some are streaming originals meant for streaming only, and some are
That
on
just
channels.
means it's newer. That
That's
doesn't
like me
mean
saying,
much
like, oh, True TV has Impractical Jokers, so I'm comparing that to HBO. Like, no, dude.
you
it's not
can. It is.
but-
It's
but you could-
television.
But you could watch Impractical Jokers, first of all, on HBO.
Right, but it's not an HBO show.
Right.
They
but,
license the rights. That's different.
but it doesn't matter because I'm talking about streaming only.
You're never going to get me to agree with that, but okay. Anyway, they did Westworld. They did The Wire. They've done The White Lotus. I just think that their bank is way deeper than any. They do the Hard Knock shows that are popular. I think their bank is way deeper than Amazon Prime. Even if you want to just count streaming, which I will not agree with, but
Well, that's
sure.
what I'm counting. So but I love Invincible, The Boys, Reacher, Fallout. They got great
Reacher's
shit,
a good
man.
show.
I love Reacher.
Most of the HBO shows are better than Reacher, though.
You're not wrong from what I mean.
Like HBO has always been the prestige of television, and they have adapted to the times of streaming, and that's why they've always been the kings of television because they can adapt to the time, whereas other channels, so to speak, haven't. But
I
their
think
shows are
this is-
still HBO shows. It's all HBO shows.
It's good that we can have an argument like this because that's how good the shit we're getting is. That's how
At the end
good
of
the
the day,
content we're
yeah.
getting.
At the end of the day, they're all HBO shows.
Well, I'm just saying, at the end of the day, we win because all this stuff that we're like, this is better than this is better than that. We get to eat it all, baby.
Yeah, there's a lot of great content. A lot of
Yeah.
great content that we get. So, anyway.
Yeah. So that's Fallout Season 2. Good shit. You got to finish it up and let me know what you think.
Yeah, I got one more episode, so we'll get that in. Maybe that'll be my seesaw next week.
Yeah.
We'll see. Before we end, I want to play a little game with you. It's not film related or anything, but I don't care.
This is our show. We can do whatever we want.
The Winter Olympics are here in Milan Cortina, the 2026 Winter Olympics. And unlike the Super Bowl, which was a snooze fest, they have been very exciting so far. Well, first of all, I'm curious, do you prefer the Summer or Winter Olympics?
Summer. I think.
That's
I don't really watch either of them, but I think I'm more inclined to tune into a Summer Olympic Games than I am for the winter.
my argument is because I don't really know which one I prefer. They're very close. The summer is definitely bigger because more countries can participate. Simple as that. But the winter games are more dangerous and a little more exciting.
They're thrilling. I know that.
Like in the summer, it's like, all right, you can swim, you run, you play some volleyball and tennis, basketball. In the winter, it's like, here are blades and guns and flying through the air. Anyway,
go down a 500-foot hill and
anyway, like in a fucking tube going 90 miles an hour. So I would say the winter games are more exciting, but the summer is a bigger deal. That is the distinction I'd give it. Anyway, in the spirit of the games, because I think the Olympics are just so great every time they come around, the world coming together on the biggest stage possible to play fucking games, right? It's to compete.
Love games.
And so I want to play a game of versus with you. And it's a very simple one. We haven't played this one in a bit. It's very simple. This versus is going to be which sport would you rather play? Not watch, but if you had to play. So for all intents and purposes, say you will have the ability to play it because neither of us can really do any of these, right? Like,
am
we're not
I competing in the Olympics?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is basically like, which one would you rather compete in?
Okay, but I'm equally good in all of them.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're going to win the gold medal, but just assume that you'll have the skill set to do it.
Yeah, I got you.
So the first one, very simple. Would you rather ski or snowboard?
Snowboarding. Okay. I don't like skiing at all.
Why?
I am terrible at it, but if we're saying I'm good at it, I don't know. I feel like being locked like that, I feel like snowboarding is just easier to maneuver, and having your hands full when you're skiing and your legs full, like, I don't know.
Yeah, but the difference with skis is, one on each leg. Your legs aren't like stuck together. You can
But I like your legs maneuver in the same way. But for me, I'm so uncoordinated with my feet that like my legs will go like this or like this or like that.
Hey, you know what? I coming from someone who, when they were younger, did snowboarding instead of skiing. Like, that was the one I did when I was a kid. Yeah, I did snowboarding for a couple of years. So, I would choose snowboard too. I'm just getting.
Did you liked it?
Obviously not enough to keep doing it, but
to stick with it.
But yeah, I mean, it's funny because I'll watch them do it at the Olympics, and I'm like, man, my parents should have forced me to stay on.
You could have been there.
I would have been in Milan, right? Actually, in Cortina. I would have been in Cortina. All right. Would you rather snowboard or specifically ski jumping? So I guess I know what you're going to pick now. But the ski jump is the one, when they come down the hill and they're like flying and they have you just see the skis in the air. They look like fucking penguins flying in the air.
They do look like penguins, dude.
They look like giant. It's hilarious to watch. Which one would you rather do?
That's too scary. I got to go snowboarding.
Okay.
Too much distance, too much height in there.
I think I don't know. So do you think that's scarier than regular skiing though?
Yes, because I feel like if I would land, I'd just break my legs immediately when I hit the ground.
I know
they do it the angle where they won't.
Say it's a Lindsey Vonn
scared.
who did the regular skiing downhill and broke her leg. But
yep.
Okay, snowboard. Would you rather snowboard or figure skating?
Snowboarding. It's cooler in my opinion.
Hey, I put some respect on figure skating. It is fun to watch, actually.
They're good at it. It's really cool to watch, but I think snowboarding is like, that's
It'd
fucking
be more
awesome.
you. It'd be more
Yeah.
you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Snowboarding or speed skating, the one where they're racing around on the skates.
Ooh. I'm gonna go speed skating. I can't ice skate whatsoever, but if I could, I think I would be really good at just the speed aspect of it.
Yeah, like they're just like hustling
Yeah.
around.
I think I could if I could get ice skating down, if I could have any athletic ability whatsoever. I think I could do that.
Okay, interesting. So we have our first change off of snowboard
Yeah,
to speed skating. Speed skating or ice hockey.
Speed skating. I don't want to get my teeth knocked out.
Hey, what if someone elbows, like what if you skate so fast you get like an elbow in the back and you get like a tooth knocked out?
I think it's more likely that I get punched in the fucking face in
Yeah,
ice hockey.
take like a stick up to the mouth, like in the
Yeah.
jaw.
Just some raging Canadians just attacking me. Also, I'm not a violent guy. I don't think I'd be able to even fight anybody, like defend myself or
I
punch
mean, there's
anybody.
way more to hockey than just fighting. You know?
No, I know,
Although
but even just like even fighting over the puck, like knocking into
Yeah.
people or pushing people, that's too much contact for me. I can't do that.
fair enough. It's funny. I saw right before the NHL players, they're back in the Olympics for the first time in like 12 years, and right before the break, there was a game between the Florida Panthers and the Boston Bruins, and a player who's on Team USA for men's hockey, Charlie McAvoy. This guy, like, this was an illegal hit, by the way. This like should not have been allowed. He like left his feet, the Florida player, and like took his arm and like smashed it into his jaw, and his jaw like blew up. It's like completely swollen.
Holy
You have to look
shit.
it up. You have to look it up after.
You know what? One of my biggest fears is that whenever I'm watching hockey, I always fear, and this has happened before, that someone will fall and then they'll get skated over, and like,
Oh yeah,
their fucking jugular will get cut or their
that
arm will get chopped
happened.
off.
There was a Clint Malarchuk was a goalie. He's still alive, but he was a goalie for the Buffalo Sabres. That happened. He took a skate to the throat. And I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen the video. I guess you have if you're talking
I've
about
never
it,
seen the video. I knew it happened though.
But it was immediate. The blood. It's one of the most terrifying things I've ever seen.
Yeah,
it was all over. He's like holding his neck and everything.
That's always been a fear of mine for hockey. Not so much figure skating or ice skating or anything like that, because you're on the floor less often, you know?
Yeah, but no, it is terrifying. So okay, moving on. Speed skating or luge. Luge is the one. Just so there's no confusion, obviously it's one of the like sledding ones when they're in the fucking tube.
Yeah.
But that's when the one where they're going feet first.
How many people are on the sled? Is that just one person?
You're by yourself on luge.
I do like sledding.
But you're going fast. You're in like a metal tube going like 80 miles an hour.
Yeah, but I kind of like the idea that, like, you're in control, but more so than not, it feels like you're kind of just sitting there. So I think I'm gonna go luge.
Okay, you're like in a rocket. You know what I mean?
I know, that
But
kinda
like
seems fun.
a wintry rocket.
Doesn't that seem kind of fun?
I mean, they just did an SNL sketch actually about it where Jane
saw
Wickline
that.
was like
Yeah.
terrified about luge. That was
I know.
luge. So it seems fun, but it's dangerous. Like it is dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, these pretty much all are except for figure skating, which even then, you
Cut someone up.
You could fall the wrong way, right? They do all these like jumps in the air and stuff.
Yeah.
You could get hurt.
People have gotten
Okay.
hurt, I'm sure.
Luge. Well, you're setting up a very interesting one here. Luge or skeleton? It's just luge, but you're going head first.
Fucking luge, dude. Head first? That's insane.
I think skeleton is nuts because someone saw luge and was like, this is actually not dangerous enough. Let's make it more dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah, if they hit something, instead of breaking their feet or their legs, they'll break their neck and be paralyzed for life.
Yeah, that is terrifying. So I'm not surprised. I would probably go luge too.
Yeah, I gotta go
All right.
luge.
Luge or bobsled? This is the one where you got a bunch of buddies with you. There's like 4 of you in the sled, and you're just fucking.
I love that one, dude. I'm going bobsled, bro. That sounds, me and my boys sledding down the mountain.
Dude, you, me, and our buddies Ed and Crosby just fucking zipping down a mountain at like 80 miles an hour in a metal tube.
So who would be in what order would you want to place us?
All right. This is only going to be this little back and forth for the next minute is only going to be interesting to us and them. But
Yes, which means us and Ed, because Crosby doesn't listen to this.
yeah. All right. Here's the thing: the person in the back has to be fast. Like, there's also like weight distribution to it, obviously.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
person in the back is the one who like you're in the front and then you're like pushing it in the back and you jump in.
But so the only one person pushes?
It might be like two
Because
that
you got
do
to be
it.
strong to push all three guys.
I'm gonna say you and I are the first two in.
Okay.
I think you're probably in the front, just because you're like I guess the smallest. You know, you're the
Yeah.
shortest. Your stature is smaller.
Yeah, just a little guy.
You're a little dude. I would be next. I would be probably right behind you. And then I'm going to actually say Crosby and Ed is probably way in the back. That's what I would say.
I would have put Ed last, yeah.
I think Ed probably is like, no disrespect to Crosby, but he doesn't listen anyway. Ed probably has the most upper body strength to be able to push us in the sled. And he's pretty quick, I guess. I don't know. I've never seen him run, but
I think he's got speed, I'm sure. Yeah, that's right. Don't you want to put like a bigger guy in the front to go way down the front, or no?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know how it works. I don't know. But...
Well, let's try it out next time we hang out.
Let's do some bobsledding.
Let's do bobsledding. So I choose bobsledding. That sounds fun as fuck.
Bobsledding or curling?
Ooh.
Curling is like the most laid back of all the winter sports. They just push the rock and they're like, with the broom, kind of.
Yeah, that's the thing. Bobsledding seems way more fun and there's a lot more going on. Curling just seems like I'm playing it safe.
Curling is the one that you could actually most reasonably be able to do of all of these. Me too, I'm sure. They're not even on skates.
I know. Like, man, that's tough because also curling, everyone's looking at you. Like bobsledding, it's like, first of all, you're going way too fast for anyone to give a shit. And like, they're your whole team. They give a shit, but you're a whole team. It's not just you specifically. I'm going to go bobsledding just because if I'm in the Olympics, I can't say I'm doing curling. I just can't.
All right, but that would be like the easiest path of all of them to get a gold medal, right?
It would, but you're saying I'm equally good at all of them. Like I'm.
No, that's fair. That's fair. But would it be different if it was like because they have singles curling and then they have doubles. Like you and I could be a curling duo.
Oh, doubles would be. Maybe I would. Are we throwing in singles or doubles? Because I think I would do doubles.
I mean,
but I
just put curling, but you can interpret it however you want. So if you want to recruit me and we could do it together.
No, I'm sticking with bobsled because I got you for the bobsled.
You do already have me for the bobsled.
Yeah.
All right, and the last one. Bobsled or biathlon? Biathlon, you're skiing, but you also have a gun, and you're like shooting shit while you do it.
Just shooting at each other?
Yeah, they just like pow, pow, pow. No, there's like targets and stuff.
I don't really like guns.
Yeah, but it's not like a gun, like a pistol on the street. It's like a specific like rifle.
They give you an AK-47, right?
Yeah, you just start mowing down fucking snowmen.
Yeah. No, it'd be sick if they gave me like a rocket launcher, but
like an RPG. You just fucking
boom. I would choose that. I'm gonna go finish it off with bobsled.
Okay, all right. It's funny to me because the triathlon in the summer is like, oh, biking, running, swimming. And then the biathlon in the winter is like, here's a fucking gun. Like,
yeah, let's give him a gun, dude.
All right. Okay, so that's the final. So the final winner of the gauntlet is bobsled, but the streak is tied between snowboard and bobsled for 3 each. You chose them 3 times each. And then you chose speed skating twice and luge twice. But the tie is, I would say, bobsled and snowboarding.
I think you could tell that I like the no contact sports and also the ones that are like rides.
All right, so since they're tied, I have to ask, snowboard or bobsled?
Bobsled.
So bobsled is the ultimate winner.
I like a team behind me,
You, me, and the boys are going bobsledding. That is the ultimate winner of this.
Because I just know we'd get some beers after.
Yeah, right?
Or we'd pregame it.
We either... Dude, imagine drunk bobsledding.
They should do the Olympics, but only for just drunk sports.
Well, that's funny. I saw someone who was like, they should just let Olympians, or they should do a specific Olympics where you take as many steroids as possible just to see like the limits of the human capability.
Just what a peak human actually can do.
What is the furthest we can make a human do something athletically?
Yeah, how fast can a human really run?
All right, let's inject someone and just see how fast can a human go. Imagine curling on steroids. They're brooming so much that the broom just goes on fire. It's nuts, right? But
the ice lights on fire.
And they just start stabbing each other with the skates.
Dude, I would love, I mean, not that part, but I would think it'd be so fun. I would totally watch. Like, they have the Special Olympics, you have the Steroid Olympics. Like the other end of the spectrum.
The Rip Olympics.
Yeah, yeah.
How many times do you say Rip, Matt Damon? Okay, well, anyway, that is the little Olympic versus that I wanted to play, just in the spirit of the games. I know it's not film related, but the Olympics are going on for the next couple of weeks, so go Team USA.
I don't know if you're allowed to say that. I don't know if you want to say that.
No. It was like they were. It's funny you bring that up because they were literally asking the athletes all about it, and they're basically like, "Well, I'm here to represent my family," and
Yeah.
It's
a tough time being like, let's go United States, but
I'm still rooting for the athletes who are representing the country. Does not mean I support the government in any way, shape, or form at this current form.
Yeah, I know. Can't wait to see what kind of shit comes online after we either lose or win.
It was funny. I was talking to my one friend who was like, "Oh, aren't you going to be rooting for Team USA at the Olympics?" And I was like, "Look, if we win, I'll be happy. If we lose, we probably deserve it." Either way.
On the world stage, yeah, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, we probably deserve it. So anyway, that was my little game. Why don't we finish off this episode with some Seesaw?
Yes, sir. We both went first for things today, so I think it's only fair if...
In the spirit of the Super Bowl,
we bring Bad Bunny out.
Do you want? Hey, come on out, Bad Bunny!
Hey,
da, 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 da. All right. You want to bet on this? Let's bet. We could make some fucking money. Like
I
Adam
did
Sandler.
Bet on the coin toss.
We could bet on this shit.
I won my coin toss.
I'll let you call it, even though it always goes your way.
I bet on it hitting heads during the Super Bowl, so I'm going to say tails.
All right. Marty says heads.
I would have lost.
Thank you, Marty. On that one. You put money on heads in the Super Bowl. You should have just stayed with your bet.
I should have, but I got to mix it up.
Marty said, Okay. Something I saw, something I want to see. I'll start with something I want to see soon, which is the two. Actually, I'm doing a double one here. Two of Richard Linklater's films that both came out last year. One is Oscar nominated. The other was Golden Globe nominated. That is Blue Moon, the Ethan Hawke film. I do want to see that soon. And the other one, which is not Oscar nominated, but was Golden Globe nominated, Nouvelle Vague, which is about the making of Jean-Luc Godard's film Breathless. So, I love Richard Linklater. He is one of my favorite directors of all time. I think he has such an interesting grasp on the human experience, and I'm very excited to see these films. I've heard good things about both.
Blue Moon does not exist as far as I'm concerned, so...
That's how I felt about The Secret Agent. That was not easy to find.
Until I see it for myself, it is not real.
And something that I saw recently was the new revival of The Muppet Show on Disney Plus, executive produced by Seth Rogen and the guest starring Sabrina Carpenter. This was incredible. I mean, this really, this special understood the Muppets at their core, what they mean, their values as a franchise, as characters. I've seen a bunch of episodes of the original Muppet Show from the late 70s, which, was obviously created by the late, great Jim Henson. And it is one of my favorite shows really ever. I mean, obviously it's not Breaking Bad and Sopranos, but from a variety standpoint, I love it. The Muppets have always had a special place in my heart. Really ever since I was a kid. There's just so much joy in these characters, and so much, diverse niches in them, and they're hilarious. And you know what I've always loved about the Muppets, and I know you're not huge into them, but I think you'll agree with this. They have always been treated like real celebrities amongst our society. They don't get treated like characters. It's not oh, who's playing Kermit the Frog? No, it's Kermit the Frog. He is in
I
this.
love it. It's so
Or
funny.
Miss Piggy, she is in this, you know, or Fozzie, he's in this. Like it makes them feel so real, you know?
Yeah.
And I love that. I mean, we all know they're not, you know, they're characters, but like you watch it, like I'm watching the show and I'm like, this is real. They are really doing this. You know, it's just that feeling that is invoked.
Yeah, they all have distinct personalities and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. And so, like, I mean, this was definitely like a backdoor pilot by Disney. Like, if this is successful, maybe we'll do a whole season. I'm
Yeah.
here to tell you, Disney, do a whole season, do 2 seasons, do 3 seasons, do this forever. This is a slam dunk. I mean, this is so easy. You've been sitting on the frog for so long, you know, this is great. Seth Rogen has been one of the greatest things to happen to television in a long time. You
Doesn't
talked about
miss.
earlier, obviously, The Boys is great. He's a producer on that. I do, you know, for what I was saying about Amazon, they are great shows. The Boys is great. Invincible is great. The Studio is, dare I say, a masterpiece. And this Muppet Show revival has been incredible. It was great. I need more of it. Like I need it injected into my veins. So, Bob Iger, you have 1 month before you leave office. Well, leave office. Do it. Renew the show.
He watches this too, so he'll probably listen to you.
I know he does. I know. We have an
Um,
email correspondent.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, Seth Rogen, like, he always knows how to get everything right to its core. He always gets, whether it's comic book to screen or, you know, revival of something like this, he always gets it right.
He knows whatever you know, sort of thing, whatever sandbox he's playing in, he understands what the audience wants and what the story dictates, what it needs. So
Yeah.
he straddles that line well. He clearly understands the Muppets. I loved it. You should watch it. I know you're not huge into it. It's only 30 minutes. It was
I'm
so
sure I
fun.
will.
It is great. It is a great time.
That's cool. I'll probably watch it pretty soon. I mean, maybe tomorrow.
30 minutes of
Um,
your time.
I did this for one of my saws or C's one time because I wanted to see it and I finally got around to it. So something I saw, unfortunately, I watched Secret Invasion. I finally watched the Marvel TV show Secret Invasion. I'm trying to get through every MCU project just because fucking I want to. Secret Invasion is not as bad as everyone says. It's just not great. To me, the comparison I made was that it is Marvel's Obi-Wan Kenobi. The idea of the Skrulls invading Earth undercover, taking over politicians and important figures, Samuel L. Jackson and Ben Mendelsohn have to uncover the secret Skrull plot, is such a fantastic idea. It's straight out of the Secret Invasion comics, that overarching plot, minus the Avengers, because Secret Invasion comics, they take over Captain America. But it's just not done well. And that is Obi-Wan Kenobi. Great idea for a show, which should have been a movie, but great idea for a show, and just done extremely poorly. Could have been one of the greatest things they made. Secret Invasion, not good, but I don't hate it. I still think it's better than Thor: Love and Thunder. I think it's better than Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Yeah,
Not a
not
high
terrible.
bar. I mean,
No, it's not, but
I
it's not the
personally think
worst thing.
I think it's one of the worst things they've made. I think it's pretty bad.
Probably my bottom 3 or 5, but it's not my least favorite thing they've done, the MCU. So something I want to see, I've started it. I'm watching MCU animation right now. You need to watch X-Men 97. That is Marvel at its peak, by the way. But I'm watching Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man and Eyes of Wakanda. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is actually really good. What's his name? Coleman Domingo plays Norman Osborn, and now I need that live action. He is so good as Norman Osborn. I'm halfway through season 1. There's only one season. I'm halfway through the season, episode 5, I think. It's really entertaining. They bring in characters like Doc Ock and the Scorpion and classic comic characters. It's just an alternate universe where Peter gets his powers, but you know, they hint at things that have happened, like Civil War happens in this universe, but Spider-Man's just not involved. The Sokovia Accords happen, Age of Ultron, all this stuff, just without Spider-Man.
So it is a different reality.
It's a different reality. It's not. It's a different Earth because there is Norman Osborn and stuff like that. Characters that our Spider-Man doesn't know until No Way Home. But it's
and
really,
even then,
really,
it's a different Earth's Norman Osborn.
Exactly. It's not Willem Dafoe, but it's really fun, dude. It's a really good introduction. I think if you don't know who Spider-Man is or you want to watch something Spider-Man related for the first time, this is a really good introduction. He gets his powers, like it's his origin story pretty much. And I'm assuming that our Spider-Man has gotten his powers in a similar way, you know? Just what this kid experiences. Eyes of Wakanda, it's okay. It's like only 4 half-hour episodes. It's okay. I'm halfway through that as well. It's a little harder to get through. It's just not that good. Um, and my problem is that Marvel can't seem to not want to do 3D animation. Bring us back to the 2D animation. X-Men 97 is so good. All the old TV shows are so good. The 3D animation, like What If, it looks like shit. I just hate it. I mean, I like the Invincible. I like X-Men 97. I like all the old cartoons. 2D is just so much better, and I don't understand it. So I think they want to make it just, they think it looks better. They think it looks more realistic, whatever, if it's 3D. I don't know.
It's more immersive, you know,
more
because
immersive, but it looks like shit. So I can't even give these as many points as I want to because they look like shit. But they're fun and they're comic booky, so it's something. But yeah, I'm getting through all the Marvel stuff. I think after this I'm like done. I have to watch Agatha and then I'm done with everything. So just
you
getting
saw
through it.
Echo.
Fuck, I didn't see Echo either.
I
Echo's
actually
like 5
saw
episodes.
I actually saw Agatha and I thought it was pretty good, especially as like a Halloween show. You know.
Yeah, I haven't seen Agatha and I haven't seen Echo. I think that's it. So after these two, I'll be done with it after I watch those. But
Yeah, there's
yeah,
a good
I gotta get
chance.
through them.
There's a good chance a couple of these I never ever end up watching.
Dude, if you don't watch
I
X-Men
really,
97, you're really missing out.
I really feel bad for myself that I ever took the time to watch Secret Invasion like that. That is time I'm never going to get back in my life.
I started it. I watched the first 2 episodes like 2 years ago. And then a week ago I go, why does my Disney Plus say episode 3? I was like, oh fuck, I watched these, and then I just started from episode 3 and I finished it.
I
But
guess my thing is I've just never been a big X-Men person like other people. You know, I
but
didn't grow up with those characters.
this is the opportunity to get you into the X-Men because it's so good. And you're really doing a disservice to yourself if you don't watch it. It is
No,
really good. It's really fun.
I have heard really good things about it. I will say that much.
I want to say that I think episode 5 of X-Men 97 is in the conversation for top 5 things the MCU has ever made.
That is definitely high praise.
I think it is at the Marvel at its peak is the 5th episode of X-Men 97.
I just need to find. I really want to find my love for Marvel again. It has wilted, and that is largely on them.
Yeah, but you love old stuff, man. You're old at heart. This is from the 90s, just brought in with better animation. Like,
no, you're right,
so
and
good.
I know that has always been highly regarded. So it's not that it's not on my radar. I never said that.
Right, well, I can't wait till one day it's in your Saw.
One day, there's a lot coming out. That's the problem with TV is when you miss something, way more keeps coming out and it's hard to backtrack, you know.
It is.
Whereas movies, it's just an isolated, like that. At the end of the day, that's why I like movies more, is because it's an isolated, story that you don't have, like, you could watch, whereas like a show, like I said, you miss it. Like even like Game of Thrones, right, is a popular show I never watched, and I remember when the final season was coming out, and I did feel left out, but it really felt like that the ship kind of passed by a little bit at that moment. And it's not to say I can't ever go back and watch it, but that's just my point. It's harder to
once you missed that opportunity.
Yeah,
for that experience at least.
Right. So it does feel like, the ship has sailed a bit, but I want to find my love for Marvel again. Hopefully the movies look, I want nothing more than to be proven wrong by Doomsday. I don't think I will be. I want nothing more than to be. I do think Brand New Day is going to be a fun movie though. And I'm way more excited for that than I am for Doomsday. I love Spider-Man, and X-Men 97 could be just what the doctor ordered.
I think it will be for you. Lemonheads and X-Men 97 for you.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's our episode, folks. Thank you for joining us as always on this long journey. Jack and I always yap forever and ever.
We love to fucking yap.
This was probably the episode where we talked more about other things outside of film than ever before, but blame the NFL, not us. So
yeah, what are you gonna
do? For everyone who tuned in, thank you. Please follow us on all our socials at Box Office Dynasty. Like, comment, subscribe, all the bullshit. You know the drill. Comment Bible study films next week. We will be picking another Bible study film out of this book,
Yes,
and it will most likely be better than Amoros Peros, but knock on wood, that is famous last words.
I hope so. Jesus.
So comment numbers, and yeah, we love you all, and we're counting down the days to the Oscars, and yeah,
Yes, sir.
that about does it.
Yep. Well, we love you guys. Bye.
Mwah.